Welcome, welcome. Hello, I'm Jay Feezy, and this is Pixelated, episode 1 on my channel, Feezys Media. Thank you for joining first and foremost if you're tuning in live. If you're watching the replay, thank you for checking the video out and seeing what it's all about. So yeah, first in the first of the video series, first episode, where I'm going to be discussing video game related topics. So, Pixelated, you kind of probably can make that correlation there that, taking just like the pixels, similar to that aspect, fundamental picture element of an image, of a graphic, right? So kind of similar to that, this stream is going to be taking discussion topics live, unedited in the raw form, right? And just kind of going with it, right? So we're just going and going to have some different various topics, not per se video games themselves, like directly video games. I'll have that in another stream and another video series. This one's going to be more about like aspects of being a gamer and things related to that. So for instance, here in this episode, we're going to be discussing video games and how we choose which ones we play based on time and our approach to them. And then secondly, revisiting old retro games or just older games in general, right? So that kind of goes along with the time aspect. One of the first things we're going to touch on there was a PlayStation State of Play. So we're going to address some of those games and kind of go over our highlights and our favorites, if any. So with that, of course, I'm not by myself here. I have my panelists with me. Let me go ahead and bring them in. From the Geeky Collector Vault, we have Viking Collectibles, HerGeekySide, and Jim Collector. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing?
Hey, hey.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the first episode of Pixelated, and thanks for joining. I know you guys have already been, you're like the 3 episodes deep so far on Viking Collectibles channel, and of course I'll have all the links in the description below after the live stream here. So if you want to check out their content and show them some love, in addition to their socials as well. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are able to make it here on this first episode here of Pixelated. Thank you for joining.
Awesome. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah,
I'm very happy to be here.
Honored.
Yeah.
And for those of you, a little bit of background on us, we actually met discussing 1/6 scale action figures. So that's kind of where we all started, right? We were and we're still into that, right? So you can kind of notice behind us, we have all these action figures here, and mostly 1/6 scale, and I collect other scales as well. But that's how we came across. Then we found this another common interest, another common hobby in video games, and so that's of course they started it off first. They had the on Viking Collectibles channel, the Geeky Collector Vault, like I mentioned, and they just took it off from there, and it's been entertaining. So if you haven't checked it out yet, be sure to check out their channel. And a lot of they don't just discuss video games, they also discuss collectibles and other pop culture things as well. And so my intent for my channel was kind of revolved around media, right? So movies, TV shows, and video games. I haven't really been touching on the video game aspect as much, just because within our hobby, the action figure collectible hobby, there's not too many like-minded gamers out there. I mean, I'm sure there are, but it's just like as far as like I'm aware, right? Just like the circles that I'm in, it doesn't. It's kind of more of a niche within a niche, right? And so then, when I came across these three here and they started discussing, and they're like, they also, I'm sure they had similar interest in gaming as well as a couple of others. So we may get another panelist here that may join us here, or others in the future, right? That are willing to jump on. Yeah, you guys inspired me once you guys started, and I know you had talks about it, so you guys inspired me to get something going on my channel as well. And now that we have more, again, like-minded collectors / gamers, so thank you again for taking the time to join me. All right, so first up, yeah, no, you guys did.
That's awesome to hear. Like the fact that we could have any influence on anybody is insane, really.
For me, it's just insane that we only had 4 episodes in, and it feels like the channel is so small, and like the chat is not that lively sometimes, but it's always there, like the like-minded people, as you say, Feezy. So it's nice to hear that we inspire someone as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, and again, I am enjoying the content. You guys, keep it going. Loving the banter between all three of you, especially Vincent. I was telling Viking, and then I was telling Viking in the chats that it's just good to see more more video gamers. I know, because I feel your guys' pain about being a gamer, getting more collectibles in action figure form, in 1/6 scale mostly, and I know there's a lot of them in smaller scales, right? And so, but yeah, again, coming from that aspect of collecting, we'd like to see more of those. And so, yep. Let me address the chat here real quick, and then we'll get into some of the topics here. So thank you again for joining us here. Those of you who already clicked in, I should say, clicked into the live here. We got my panelists, of course, doing double duties. I appreciate you as well, always engaging with the chats where you can. HerGeekySide, good evening. Let's hit the like button. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you always for the support. For all three of you, you guys have always been supportive of my content, so much appreciated on that. And same as well, Jim Collector here. Good evening, everyone. We got Johnny Chronicles in the house. JC, thank you for joining. Good afternoon, all. I'm here to support the kind-hearted, tolerant, patient, and consummate professional Jay Feezy. Oh, much love, man. Much love. Thank you. That means a lot, Johnny Chronicles. Thank you for saying that, and those kind words, man. I always appreciate your support as well. Always enjoy seeing you in the chats too, so thank you again. Let's see here. Yeah, and then everyone, again, man, just always coming together and allowing that platform for you all in the chat to just talk amongst yourselves, right? Providing that medium there. All right, so Johnny Chronicles also adding, been gaming all my life, owned almost every gaming system from Atari, Sega, Dreamcast, and currently the Sony PlayStation. Nice. So it sounds like I'm not too far behind you, because although I didn't get an Atari, I started with Nintendo. That was my first major system, and I just been from there. And so, the background here, if you haven't noticed, it's kind of a 8-bit kind of homage to Super Mario Brothers, right? The first mainstream game from the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. And so, that's where I started with. That's what it all began for me. And and it's been going ever since, right? And so, again, one of the reasons why I chose more of a pixel theme for this segment, this video series, the whole pixelated aspect, just because, that's where it all started for me, right? And I still revisit those, and we'll touch on that again later on. There's some games coming out and that have been released that are, still in that style, right? That 2D side-scrolling pixelated style, which I love. So, but yeah, thank you all again for joining us here. Okay, so first up, state of play. I know you guys touched on this on your stream, on your video, the previous episode. I believe it was episode 3, but kind of revisit it and kind of more on a high level. I wanted to get your takes on on what your highlights and your favorites were. I'll start with Vita, ladies first, of course. But before I do, let me add in our next panelist here, just joining us. We got Blue Tattu in the house. How you doing, Blue?
Yeah, good. How's it going, guys?
Hi, Blue.
Yeah, another.
Hello.
Good. We were just about to start with the state of play. Thank you for joining us. Another fellow collector and gamer, as you can tell from his background. Yeah, all of our backgrounds, right? All similar. You see the similar themed here. Yeah. Yeah. But Vita, what were any highlights or any favorites for the PlayStation state of play that happened? What was that, a couple of weeks ago?
So I was mostly excited probably about John Wick from that one. Chicken Wukong, as we call it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how I feel about it. Like, it looks pretty cool. And I haven't played the Wukong game, obviously, but as I finished Ghost of Yotei, I might pick that one up now. Haven't decided yet, because we got the new Mafia game as well. So I'm quite interested to start on that one. But yeah, I think those were the two highlights for me, the Chicken Wukong, as we call it, and John Wick. Because John Wick, obviously, like, I enjoy the story and I like the combat and the mix with the guns and all. I just really hope that they're gonna execute like the proper story and they won't rely just on the John Wick franchise, and you know, that they think it's gonna be enough for people just because it's John Wick. I really want to make sure they deliver the storyline as well as the gameplay. Just because for me, as you said, like earlier as well, like what we like about the games and such and such. For me, if the game like loses the story or like the story becomes like repetitive and not interesting, I very often lose the interest in a game, and then I just leave it without finishing and move on, which is really hard for me, because sometimes when I don't love the book, I read it to the end because I like to finish what I started. But I just found like these days, you know, with the gaming, I don't have enough like hours in a day. So if the game really like is a struggle and I don't enjoy the story, I move on. But yeah, John Wick looks pretty cool, and probably I'm most excited from all the reveals.
Anyone else feel the same way? Anyone else looking forward to John Wick?
Yeah, Victor just said everything that I was going to say. John Wick looks really, really good, and Chicken Wukong definitely got my attention because I just love Wukong so much. The God of War remakes as well, that I'm really interested to see if they go back to the old combat in those games and the old style of those games, or if they're going to update it to more what we have now with Ragnarok and 2018 God of War, and use that sort of style of combat and camera angles. Because I just remember playing the originals, and it was just Kratos ended up so small on the screen on that one, and flying around, jumping around. So it's a very different style of game, the older ones. So that those will be really cool to see, and the fact that they're doing all three. Like I could have seen them announcing maybe like God of War 1 and remaking that, but to announce that they're doing all three of them, that's pretty impressive as well. I'm interested to see if they've announced they're doing all three and release them separately, or if they're going to just do all three at once and release all three to play. Because that would be an awesome package to have 1, 2, and 3 to play all the way through.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. And I mentioned to you guys in the chats too, this was like, before they had announced this during the State of Play, I was actually thinking about the other, a little bit prior, and I was like, man, I realized that they hadn't done a remastered, and they're doing all these other remasters. And I think that's how it came up in my head. It's like they've been doing PlayStation or Santa Monica or, I guess like Sony in general, they haven't been, they've been doing a lot of remasters here. Like, obviously we see a lot of Resident Evils, but I was thinking, did they ever do a God of War? And I know they did that trilogy. I think it was a trilogy where they released all three on one disc. I think that was for PS4. I want to say it was. Do you guys remember that? It wasn't a remaster, but they put the collection together. Yeah,
they definitely put it together. I can't remember if it was PS4 or PS3 though. It was quite a while ago.
Yeah, for sure. And so, that, because I actually have that. Someone actually gave that to me because they didn't want anyone. I was like, oh, sweet, because I love those games. And so, but yeah, that's a good point, Viking. That if they're going to be a remaster, obviously there's going to be a lot bigger file sizes, right? In general, like the games are just going to be bigger, information wise, and so I don't know if they'll all fit, depending on how big they are, all on one disc, or they may do them separately. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, for that trilogy, because I love those games. The only thing I mentioned is like I just wish that they didn't announce that so soon, because it based on that trailer, and then there wasn't even really any gameplay, right? It was more like a teaser. It's just like the title and the voice of Kratos, and I'm forgetting his name. Apologies, but he mentioned that they're still a ways off, and I think he even touched on like they don't have anything to show, and so I was like, oh damn it, so that means they're still pretty far away from showing the game. which, you know, I'm kind of more, I know there's two camps to that, and I'm more in the camp like, you know, just wait until you have something something that's good to show, right? Like something that looks good and is like in decent shape to show off. And so I was like, damn. But yeah, and I'll come back to John Wick. I had something on that. But yeah, anyone else got any other thoughts, hot favorites or highlights from the state of play?
I mean, definitely Silent Hill. That looks really good. So that was exciting to see, just especially because that's having such a resurgence at the moment. So the new Silent Hill, really exciting to see as well. And again, Harrison pointed out to me, I didn't even notice. Yeah, that's the one. But it looks like it's, I don't think it's set in England, but it's heavily inspired by a town in Scotland, isn't it, Harrison? Is that where it is?
Yeah, from what I was reading, it's a town in Scotland that's sort of influenced it, which will be a very different look for a Silent Hill architecture.
Game. They seem to be kind of like varying out a lot, because Silent Hill F very different from what we've seen before, especially Silent Hill 2, and then this one looks like it's gonna be different again with the first-person view and things like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes, to be quite honest. I'm also kind of interested in the Legacy of Kain. Remaster. It's a remaster, isn't it? Not a remake. Because I played Soul Reaver back in the day, but I never played any of the games where you as just Kain. So I'm going to be interested to see that one as a remaster as well. So that's quite exciting to see. And Pragmata looks really good. There's quite a few single player games that look really interesting, and I'm glad to see they're still doing a lot of single player stuff. But Pragmata especially, just the whole relationship between the two, it kind of gives you that kind of Joe and Ellie vibe to a certain extent of you're going to have like the vulnerable one and then the protective one and stuff like that, and they're going to have a good dynamic relationship. So I think that's going to be quite a fun story-driven game, and it's Capcom as well, so I do love Capcom. So hopefully that goes well. But really excited.
Yeah, Sam, that's a good point. I didn't. I forgot about that aspect of it, and I do remember kind of like seeing the trailer. I didn't really pay too much mind to it, but yeah, you're right. The whole Joel and Ellie similarity there, that's a good point. I think there was another. I guess that was. I was gonna say I thought there was another game that kind of like stood out to me, but the whole Joel and Ellie situation. Although she's kind of more attached to him, it seems like so far. So I'm curious to see what this whole element's gonna be like. If she's actually gonna end up kind of assisting in some way, kind of like Atreus does in the newer God of Wars. You know how you can build up his skills and abilities. Right?
It feels like she'll have some sort of features to do something. You'd hope so.
Yeah.
As long as she's not like Ashley in Resident Evil 4, it'll be fine.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope not.
Yeah.
We said this on our show as well, didn't we? It's got a bit of a Death Stranding feel to it, where it just feels very different.
Yeah, true.
Like like there's I haven't like seen anything else like this style of game. Like just what we're seeing right now, it's just bonkers, which I like. I like it when games do something very different.
That's why you
and the elements of it seems like Destiny, just because of the mech suit rare there, and like you guys said already, with like mixing with The Last of Us and maybe some God of War in there. So like different elements of different games just based on the trailer, but we'll see what actually what it looks like when it comes out. Blue, do you have any highlights or any favorites from the state of play? Did you get a chance to watch them all?
I'm probably most excited for the God of War. Because I love that. I love those games. Even all 5 of them are just fantastic. And then the X-Men fighter game, I was getting excited for, but then I saw that it's like an add-on to another game or something.
The Marvel Token?
Token, yeah.
Token, yeah. No, I think that's its own standalone game.
Is it
its own fighting game?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to look into that because it looked really fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm a fan of fighting games, especially this style, Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter. Those are more the games that I enjoyed playing. So yeah, this looks really awesome. I'm curious to see what the storyline is behind this too. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And of course the John Wick was intriguing. Storm, that looks awesome.
Yeah, dude.
The John Wick looks cool. I do think they need a little more polishing, and I think they got plenty of time to do that. But it's exciting to have that kind of game. I wonder what the game mechanics are going to be for that. So it looked really cool. So, those probably most excited for.
Yeah, let me go back to that John Wick, because I'm intrigued by it. I'm not. I didn't get a chance to look more into the develop here, so I'm not sure what else they've done. You guys here in the chat or in the panel, let me know what else they've done in the past. But it didn't seem too recognizable at first. And maybe I'm just not making the connection between some games I've played in the studio. But so that's always for me. Like that's always kind of like something that makes me look a little more into whether I want to play a game or not, or how it's going to turn out, right? And then I mean, not to say that I won't be open to playing it, because there's definitely been some games where like I'm not aware of the studios, are not familiar with them, but I end up playing it and it just ends up being awesome. So to me, and it does say at the beginning too, this is a mixture of both like cinematic and gameplay footage, so it's kind of a mixture in between. But it does seem like it's going to be more of like action adventure type, third person type of game here, a little more fast paced, which I'm all for. So hopefully the execution on this when it does come out is it comes out pretty well, because I'd definitely be interested. I'm surprised though, for those of you who've seen like John Wick, especially the later one, John Wick 4. It had a lot of video game elements and themes to it, right? Like it seems like the way they approached that one was more of like a video game, and even people kind of jokingly, like the running joke is just that, like this, for instance, he just keeps getting shot, and I think you guys mentioned this on your stream as well, right? Just getting shot and he's just going through all these bullets because his suit is bulletproof. I think that right there is just like a feature and element of a video game, right? It's just like taking all these gunshots and not dying or like losing very little health, if any. So and then I even more so, there was a scene in John Wick 4. I'm pretty sure it was John Wick 4, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a minute since I've seen those, but they went strictly to like a top-down view, which was really awesome. So they went overhead, and then John Wick is going through room to room and taking out all these guys. And actually, as soon as I saw that, I thought, if you guys are familiar with the game Hotline Miami, which is similar, where it's like overhead, top-down. Right. So Jim knows. And so I went to go Google and see, and then sure enough, there was and I forget who part of the crew, I don't know if it was the director or the producer, but they did get inspiration from a game similar, not directly Hotline Miami, but there's another game that came out after that. That game drew inspiration from Hotline Miami, so it seems like there's like a indirect inspiration there to that. And so that was that was really cool, when I saw that in the movie, and I was like, oh damn, that does have elements there, and sure enough, it turned out to be. So I'm surprised. All that to say, I'm surprised that they didn't do that approach first, because that would have been cool. And not to say that they won't. Maybe they will do like a spin-off game to that, like another separate one, kind of like what they did for Tomb Raider, right? They have the traditional 3D Tomb Raiders action adventure game, but then they also made it was like a strategy type of game or something like that. They had different genres of Tomb Raider, and then with the God of War, like they just did for the State of Play, right? They had the remasters, but then they also did that 2D side-scrolling one that looks more kind of like classic pixelated version of that. So I wonder if maybe they'll do a John Wick game like that, where it's just overhead Hotline Miami type of look. I don't know, what do you guys think?
That'd be cool. You could just go like a level of that or something.
Yeah, you agree, Viking?
Yeah, I can see it. And I was just thinking, when you were talking about the films, how much, like, just the fact they can survive falling off rooftops, I feel is like very video game. Like, like how many times can he fall and land and just not be dead?
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Or those stairs.
Yeah,
exactly. The stairs. I was gonna say, what he fell like 2 or 3 times down those stairs, and he just got back up.
I just always think how much the suit's supposed to weigh as well. Like it's to run around like that, and not to be out of breath or anything. You're just like,
he's a skinny guy.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it was just so definitely some, and they had more. You can tell they had fun with it. I think that was the point. I think I read somewhere too that they were saying that they wanted to have fun with that. So it's a fun movie. I enjoyed it, but regardless, I digress from the topic at hand. But so John Wick, I'm looking forward to that game. We'll see if it's we'll see the execution, it comes out as good as what we're seeing here. For me personally, I agree with what you all said. I know I didn't show this earlier. Oh no, I did. Yeah, this Project Winless, aka Chicken Wukong here. I like how they kind of like flip the script here, right? They have this intro that I have here on the screen, and it seems all serious and dark and even gruesome. And then like kind of pans out and you see like a chicken warrior.
Chicken,
yeah, giant ass chicken. Oh man, it just kind of was like, oh damn, okay, so it's not like what we were expecting. But I think they kind of did this intentionally to show like, hey, this game is, you know, gonna be more serious. I mean, yeah, we have a chicken, but you know, that is not to say that it's not gonna be, you know, mature and for the quote unquote adult
but it's
gamers.
cool chicken.
Yeah, cool giant ass chicken.
A damn cool
Rooster,
chicken.
isn't it?
It is
Yeah,
a rooster, but rooster doesn't work as
The
well,
Kellogg's
James.
Rooster.
Yeah. Rooster
It's a
Wukong,
cockerel.
chicken Wukong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicken Wukong.
Roosters can be vicious, guys. I have bad experience with
Oh,
like
They are
roosters.
aggressive,
It's not
actually.
great.
Yeah.
Oh
So
man.
are chickens in general.
Yeah,
know what
see,
we
look at
wanna
this.
do.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah,
the
rooster-
worst
yeah.
part is that I did had a bad experience with a white rooster, as well. So just I don't know. It's just PTSD now for me. I won't be able to play the game.
This is why
Feezy,
No,
driving
you-
a
I'm-
farm is traumatic.
Feezy,
Yeah.
can you go back to with the front on shot of him? Because I was
yeah.
just looking at him. He's got kind of like a Scottish look to him as well.
This
If
one.
you have a look at what
Yeah.
he's wearing, it looks a bit
Has he got a
like a kilt. It
Like a
looks
kilt?
a bit
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
a
say.
kilt.
Is it kilt
Kilt
on?
and pulls out some bagpipes.
Well, he needs to wear something, guys. And what
And,
the
like,
chicken
something
gonna wear?
over-
Trousers?
Over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Isn't this based on a Korean story? Was it Korean?
Yeah, it's a Korean
This one.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, because you're talking about
It'd be
this part
random
right
if
here.
they
Yeah.
made the chicken Scottish
It
then.
looks a bit like that would be quite funny.
Those are like gourds.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
do look like gourds. Yeah, not quite
Yeah.
not quite
Not
a
quite a
kilt, but
kilt.
some sort of but yeah, I see what you're
But
saying.
close.
How
Yeah.
toyetic is he as well? Like this would make a
Oh.
really cool figure. It'd be
This
tough
would
to
be
do in
so-
1/6. If are they gonna root the
Yeah.
feathers? But like a
Yeah,
1/12,
I know, right?
I reckon it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would have to be
It would look
plastic for
pretty
sure.
good.
Guys,
next
just go to
Wukong.
Lithuania, go to the farmer and say, I want your rooster. I want it stuffed. And you're
In
gonna have
clothes.
your chicken Wukong on the shelf.
Yeah. Give
With
me
a
your
sword on
biggest
his
back.
rooster. Yeah.
I draw the line at stuffed animals, so I'll have anything else on the stuffed animals now.
Jim's all had enough of that. No, but yeah, that's actually a good point. Roosters are more vicious, so I definitely can see him being a rooster for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know my poultry, so sorry guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Vita. She seems like she has more experience in that field, in that aspect. So I'll rely on her expertise.
Unfortunately, for me, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, this one looks interesting. I also like how it seems like another games. A lot of them are right. They're inspired by what's came before it, just like a lot of other art forms and media. This one looks like to be more of cross, like you guys already pointed out, Wukong, but also this part here seems more like a Dynasty Warriors aspect, where you just kind of taking out a bunch of enemies at once, or like the latest the Zelda, what is it, Hyrule Warriors, I think it is, right? Like a similar genre where you just have is that what it's called? I think that's what it is. Yeah, you just have a bunch of bad guys on the field. It seems like when you get to a point and then bam, you're just taking out all these, which also makes me think now that I mentioned that. Because in Dynasty Warriors and Hyrule Warriors for sure, you can have multiple players in that, and I'm not sure about Dynasty Warriors because I haven't played that one. So I wonder here at some point, either in this game or later on as that DLC component, if they'll allow other characters to join you and take on like those hordes of enemies, or have a separate game mode like that. I don't know. That kind of just came to me as I was talking. Look at that.
That finisher we just saw, that was pure God of War then.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
a
was it?
pure
Yeah,
God of
that's
War.
a good
the
point.
jump,
Yeah,
the stomp down. Yeah.
yeah.
Look at this.
It'll
Yeah,
get-
he's just going.
Gave me a bit of like Days Gone as well, with all the zombies running
Yeah.
around and loads on the
Oh
screen.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
this
yeah, I
is
was
how
thinking
the
that.
God of Wars will play, more similar to this.
Oh yeah. Maybe they'll take inspiration from this game. Yeah. Look at that. Ooh-ah. Yeah, look at this. It's just battle. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. Let's see here. We
I'm not sure
got.
if that's that guy or the good guy.
So
Yeah, I
this
know,
is
right?
compared to Korean Lord of the Rings, basically. Because I
is
was
it?
like
Okay, so-
interested with like the source material. So yeah, it's like South Korean high fantasy novel series. The
They were
bird
like,
that drinks
okay.
Screw
tears.
hobbits, we want chickens.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So it's is it like kind of based on mythology? I know you guys had mentioned this also, and you touched on on your
Yes,
stream as well.
it seems like some novel series basically from
Okay.
South Koreans by Lee. I won't say the surname. By Lee Young-do. That's the best I
So-
can do. Yeah.
It's more like Witcher then, rather than like because Wukong's Chinese mythology, right?
Yeah, that's. Yeah,
I don't
that's
know. It
basically
says
it,
often referred to as the Korean Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay,
that
so
would-
yeah,
that
I
would
guess it
be
is just like a
yeah,
novelization.
like Witcher type thing.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Good. Thanks, Vita, for that hint there. Yeah. Obviously, I didn't have time to do my homework there, so that's on me. But yeah, thanks for filling me in there.
That's
we got
fine.
Johnny Chronicles.
We didn't know until now either.
Yeah. Johnny Chronicles saying gaming sure has come a long way since the Pixel days. Yes, sir. These newer games are like an immersive and interactive mode. I'm excited to see how and if AI will be integrated into gaming development. Yeah. Again, that's another one where there's two sides of it, right? I know there's definitely some developers out there who kind of are against AI, and there's some that are kind of implementing it in some way, and it's just I know it's tough. It's kind of like striking that balance, right? When to use AI and when not to. And I think what was it? A little off topic here, but I think there was and I forget the game, right? Just past the year, there was a game that had won, but it was found out that they used some aspect of AI in their game, and it was actually they actually had their
33.
award. What was it?
Well, it was that French game, wasn't it? The one the Game of the Year awards just recently. The
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I forget which one
Expedition.
it was.
Obscure Expedition. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Was it Expedition?
okay, yeah.
Really?
That sounds right.
Yeah, Expedition 33 or whatever.
Oh,
There
it
was-
is.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
haven't played that yet.
yeah, and I don't want to,
Yes.
I'm not spreading misinformation. I don't think it was anything in the game here, but it was a component of I don't know if it was part of the marketing or something along those lines, and so it just and I forget. Apologies, I'm just kind of paraphrasing here, but yeah, it was something along those lines that had involved AI, and so they removed their award status to whatever that was, and so yeah, again, I didn't get a chance to look too deep into it, but I just kind of was quickly glancing through some of the posts and the headlines and the readings there. So yeah, apologies on the lack of info there. But yeah, movie can hear poultry knowledge. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's my lack there of poultry knowledge.
Yeah, and being a
All
vegan,
right.
I'm all about poultry.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
I think depending on how they use it, I think AI will be. I think it could be helpful in the game industry.
So-
There could be some things, not so much like to make the game, but if there's a way that they can use it to help them maybe shed a year off of it, almost like in the development side of it, and go
100%.
So
like, oh well, this tree in the background that nobody cares about, maybe we can get AI just to make that tree, and then we'll go and focus on the combat and this part of it, so then we can get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there is a way that they could balance it in a way that they can really make it work and help.
So apparently they didn't use in the game. So again, I just straight away want to know what actually happened. So it's I need to Google it. So apparently it says that generated AI for early placeholder textures, specifically on, for example, post-its, which led to controversy and stripped off its indie game award despite the assets being removed before release. Developer Sandfall Interactive confirmed this was an early experiment, stating the final game contains only human-made assets.
yeah,
It's kind of
Yeah,
like a
see,
good
so-
use of AI, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
But it's
Bits
a
on
mess
top
to
of
think
it.
about AI and people being threatened by it, and in a sense, people, AI learns from human beings. It's not
Mhm.
like it's creating its own things. So I think it's very sensitive debate, because we don't really know how the AI really what it used. Did it use what it learned from their specific company, or did it use somebody else's knowledge? So I think that's where the argument is coming, that by using AI, you using somebody else's mind, essentially. I don't know, that's how I understand it.
And also just being upfront about it. If they go, look, we've used
Yeah.
AI to help us make this, and not try hiding it. I think as long as they're open with it and go, look, we're doing this, we're going to make this game, this is going to help us. Instead of take 8 years to make the next game, it's going to take 4 years to make the game, because we're going to get help with it. I don't see it being totally terrible if used the same way, in the right way. But if they then go, well, we could fire 10 people because we don't need them to make the like. That's when it's a problem, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I
it'll be
agree.
used for replication, you'd think, because there's a lot of replication video games. So, like, for example, like trees and stuff like that, you could probably help the programming the amount of trees. That's just like a really basic idea, but that's what you'd think tool, right? Not replacement.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Tool. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, that I also lean on, and like I refer to as AI as the tool, right? So just used correctly. And I agree with Viking. Balance, right? Just striking that balance on how to implement that, and when it starts to become a problem, taking over artists.
I think it's a bit like the same. Like if you take a picture and you like drop in AI and say, "Oh, can you make it like amazing?" and then you post as your own. That I think that's where like it's you cross that boundary because you just took the picture. It could be the horrible lighting. It could look like nothing, like good at all. But AI can enhance it. That's gonna look like can go and win an award potentially. But you haven't done anything to actually get the picture to that state.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
I kind of want to try that now and just put a picture and go make it look awesome and see what happens.
Yeah. Make it look great. Yeah. No, yeah, and I agree too on the damn, I lost my train of thought. But go ahead, Blue. I had a point to agree on, but I'm forgetting now. Do you have any thoughts on that, Blue?
No, that's pretty much covered.
No, yeah. No, yeah, and again, just kind of being careful with that, and again, the balance and not. I guess like Vita said, crossing that line is just it could be blurry sometimes. So it is questionable. Oh, transparent. That's what I agreed on. That's the point. Transparency. I definitely agree with that. Right? Had they had that company or that studio been transparent from the beginning, I think it would have been fine. But the fact that they didn't mention, and again, it wasn't part of like Vita confirmed. It wasn't part of the game. They didn't use it in the game itself. It was kind of like some placeholders, but still, it's just then that makes people question. Okay, well then, if they forgot to inform us of that, or they omitted that information, what more? I think it's more of like the trustworthiness, right? At that point, you're like, oh damn, how much more did they use it? And they're not telling us. So yeah, it's better just up front. And I'm sure lesson learned on their part, but I haven't played that game. Claire Obscure. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it, but
it's on the list. The very long growing list.
Yes. So speaking of, segueing to our next topic here. So you guys,
Feezy, can I just ask quickly, because I actually just realized as well, because late in the year we have the Marvel's Wolverine game coming out, and I was surprised not to see anything, like any cover about it. Did you guys hear much about this game? Because I personally haven't really seen much info, and now I'm thinking this would have been like a perfect opportunity to show it off, considering it's coming out like in the fall this year. I think it's like, I don't think the date is confirmed, but it's like September time, I think, or something. So so technically it's pretty soon, but I haven't seen like much promo going around it, which is interesting.
I could give you my hot take if you'd like.
Go on then.
I'm not that excited for Wolverine. That first trailer that we saw, I was like, when they first said it, I was like, Wolverine makes sense. That'll be a great game. The Origins game was a fantastic game. But when they showed that first trailer for it, I was really just like, oh, that's a little bit disappointing, actually. Like I don't know. I don't know if I was expecting something just totally different, but to me, it just looked almost like a skin of Spider-Man. That is how I felt about it. It very like he's jumping around, he's flying around, sort of thing. It was, to be fair, my knowledge of Wolverine is from the movies and not so much the comics. But I was expecting like, I don't know, like a more less energetic, like less athletic, more brutal, more just
like a God of War?
More serious. Yeah, just a little bit more serious to it. Whereas it did really just seem like, oh, it's just Spider-Man again, but instead of webs, it's got claws. That's how I took it anyway.
Okay,
which is a shame.
I see. No, yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, I know some people are gonna like see that mask just put over, or that filter, I should say, of Wolverine put over a Spider-Man game, and I mean, to me that makes sense, right? Because it's the same, it's the same studio, it's Insomniac, right, doing both of them. And I love the Spider-Man games, and so, and that's how I think that's that's one of the driving factors for mods, right? Doing mods on on PCs anyways. You take games and you put in like other skins, or if you do like, I don't know, just say a Marvel mod or a Star Wars mod to an existing game because people want to see certain characters. And so like that's, yeah, you're right in the sense it does seem like, it hasn't come out yet, so I don't know how it's going to be when it comes out, but from the trailers, it does look like it's going to be really similar to Spider-Man game. But I'm all for that personally. Like like I said, I really enjoyed that game and the gameplay mechanics on that. But throw in Wolverine, oh man, yeah, I'm all in for it. I'm all there.
And those Spider-Man games are just like a skin over the Arkham games.
Yeah,
like even
that's
down
true.
to the
Yeah,
mechanics, the Spider
Yeah.
Sense is just
yeah, the filter, over Arkham. Yeah. So again, other studios drawing inspiration or borrowing elements from others, and it's going to continue to happen, right? They straight up stole it. Yeah. Yeah, you can keep going back, and I'm sure there's nothing's crossing my mind, but I'm sure
think all games around that time had it. Even Assassin's Creed was like it for a while.
I was
going to
say,
similar.
yeah, just keep going back, and I'm sure you can find some other game before it that had that similar. I mean, that's why we have genres, right? Action adventure, side scrollers, platformers. It's just like they're all like similarities. Or you say like Breath of the Wild likes use like something like that's like that game. Sorry, but going back to your point, that's kind of interesting that they didn't show anything. All I heard is 2026 for Wolverine, so I haven't heard anything since then about a release time frame. But we'll see when it comes out, unless they say delayed. But maybe later on in the year or something. I don't know.
Looking forward to it though. It's gonna be awesome. Hopefully it's just as good as the Origins game, because that was the Wolverine game. It was fantastic.
Yes, so I hear. I've never played that one, but
Really?
for some reason I passed it by. But I keep
right?
hearing good things.
So good, dude.
Oh, for the
It was
GameCube.
really good. Yeah, it was
Only
really
for the
good.
GameCube?
No, I played it on. Oh god, PS3. I think it was on.
Okay.
I
as
remember
well.
having it on GameCube, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
it was
that's
really good.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why. I just didn't. Maybe it didn't. For some reason, it appealed to me during that time where I was playing something else. I'm not sure. But I heard good things about that one. And that's actually another topic that's kind of related to the topic we'll kind of touch on later. And I just realized one thing. My highlight for the state of play, real quick. I wanted to talk about this because I thought this was really cool. So this Castlevania Belmont's Curse looks really awesome. And I know I mentioned to you guys in our chat here, in our group chats, that I recently played Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and oh man, I love that game. I know I'm like late to that game, years late, but I finally got around to playing it, getting to my backlog, and man, I loved it. I think that game was every bit as deserving of like its Game of the Year like nominations and awards for Prince of Persia. And so I've been recently on a Metroidvania kick, because that's what that game was. It was as a side-scrolling Metroidvania, kind of similar along the lines of this one. So I've been looking forward to playing some other games. I still need to play Shovel Knight and Hollow Knight. I know those are part of that as well. But yeah, I saw this one, and this one looks awesome. And the animation, the backgrounds, really beautiful, really gorgeous artwork in this. And so this is something that I'm personally looking forward to, just kind of following that Metroidvania kick. I don't know, have you guys gotten into any of the Metroids, Castlevanias, or anything like the Metroidvanias in general?
I struggle with side-scrolling games in general. I think
Why is
because
that?
I never grew up with them, I just I never gravitated towards them, so I don't have that nostalgic feel for those games.
Yeah.
For me, like a nostalgic video game is like PS1, Nintendo 64, and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
okay,
this came
gotcha.
after me. This will have a totally
Yeah.
different take. But
Yep.
side-scrolling things, like I don't get the excitement level. Which is
Yeah,
a shame.
I mean,
Castlevania looks cool stylistically.
I'm with you. I'm right there with you. They're not.
90s
I
games,
can I can appreciate them, and they're really, they do look really good sometimes, but they're just not my style of game at all. It's the same with most fighting games as well. I'm not a huge fighting
okay.
game.
Gotcha.
My game is definitely like third person horror or third person adventure. That's
Survival horror, yeah.
Something with a
Same here.
really good story. If it's got a really interesting story and I can get into it, that'll grab me more than this style of game or like first person shooters. Like Jim, you know that Alien game we were talking about? I put that on for
yeah,
5 minutes before I then went back to Silent Hill, and I straight away was like, I'm just not as interested as I am with Silent Hill, just being that story, third person horror. It was instantly
It's
just
very generic first person horror,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like
Yeah.
kind of it doesn't feel very interesting from that thing. The only thing with first person for me, I'm a shill for Call of Duty. I'm sorry to admit it, guys, but I will like to get
You heard it here first.
the new Call of Duty skin or whatever it is. But yeah.
Yeah, I know Vita and Blue are with me because I know they were fans of 2D side scrollers.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, to be fair, I will say, you know, I do agree, and I'm with you all. Like, I love a video game with a really good story, a great story, well written, you know, voice acted. That Prince of Persia game, that Lost Crown, that also did have a really good story. So another reason why I enjoyed it, right? Like, usually I try to a game that really pulls me has like just nails every aspect of it, like not just the mechanics, the art, the graphics, the story as well, and the voice acting. Yeah, it was really good. So I think it's like kind of one of those instances, and I'm not picking on you guys. I'm just saying, like, one of those instances where you see a game and you kind of just like you shrug it off just based on like appearance, right? It's kind of like that, kind of like a stigma aspect of it. You're like, okay, well, it's a 2D side scroller, so it's not going to have a great story. But there's actually been a few that I've played that actually had really good stories. Granted, you might have to read. There's some dialogue in there. And there's no voice acting. But if you actually take the time and and play it and you give it a chance, there's some that are really good out there. So
I was going to
a
say,
suggestion.
We played. It's not called Street Fighter. It's some sort of like street fighting side-scrolling arcade game. And a few years ago, they had like the latest version, like the 4th one, and it's like multiplayer. And we played that, and that was really good. I can't remember what it was called though. It's like a really famous IP.
Oh, Streets of Rage.
Some fighter. Streets of Rage. That's it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I was like, Street something. So we played like the latest one of that. Really got into that one. That was a lot of fun. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, that's another one I heard. Yeah, I'm a fan of those games. Those beat 'em ups. That they have, like, it's kind of similar to the that newest Ninja Turtles game. The what was it called? Not Splintered. Shredder's Revenge. That was it's sort of I bought that one. I was a big fan of that one and played that with the family, and we all enjoyed
the original one.
The original Ninja Turtles, or the Streets of Rage?
Yeah, no, the original Ninja Turtles. I remember quite like that one.
On arcade. The arcade version? Yeah, right?
Yeah. And like the kind of like Nintendo
time?
One as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember how it was actually like called, yeah. But I remember like I tried to make Jim to play Mario Bros and I was just getting frustrated with him because he wasn't doing it right. So.
Oh my gosh. When we went to Japan, we went to the Nintendo Museum and you can play like some of the classic games, but they're like these giant massive controllers. So like I control the directional pad and she'll control like the A and B. And she was getting so frustrated at me because I just have no clue how to like work those games. Well, I know how to work them, but I'm just no skill for it at all. Like, and she was just like, "Why are you not jumping at the right?" It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. She's like, "It's 2 buttons." I was like, I just can't. It's awful. So we did not do very well. So
that's an interesting take.
But then we went to arcade and we like it was a fighting game and I beat James literally within. I don't know, like first round, second round, and then I was just sitting there for 10 minutes on my own, and he was just like next to me, like, when you gonna die?
He's ready to go.
Rubbish.
Yeah, that's an interesting approach on having someone for like a basic 2D side scroller, like having someone just do the directional pad and someone just do the jump and attack buttons. Really fun, man, I'm sure that would be all weird. Yeah.
Terrible, especially because like you timed as well. It's like I'm like you have to do this and that. He's like I'm trying. It's like, well, you're not trying hard enough.
I'll try harder. Yeah,
watching you as well.
It's like we didn't even finish the first level of Mario. Come on. Like.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, what's your what about you, Blue? What's your take on 2D side scrollers?
Oh, I love them. I grew up with them. Like most of them were side scrolls. I love the Castlevania games. Yeah, I can't wait to play that. It's been a long time. I wish they'd create another one like I think it was like PS3 Castlevania game, like Lords of Shadow. I think it was.
Okay.
Like it wasn't side scroller. It was like you're 3D moving around, and I wish they would do more Castlevanias like that. Even though I love the side scroller.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I need to go back on. Yeah. Here's a shocking point. I don't think I've ever played. I'm pretty sure I didn't play any of the original Castlevanias. That is why I brought it upon myself. I bought the I think it's the Castlevania collection on Switch. I think it was, and that's on my backlog to play. But I want to go back and play those because for some reason I love Metroidvanias. Haven't played a Castlevania. I know that's like blasphemy, but I need to go back and definitely play one of those, like the side-scrolling ones. And so I'm over here on a Metroidvania kick, and I am like totally skipping out on the classic, what the actual genre of what started it all. So I need to go back and do that. But
Castlevania games had good music too.
Yeah, exactly. I heard, and some of them I heard yet. I've actually went back and listened to like a few tracks, and awesome killer soundtracks. But all right, so going on to the next topic, and you guys kind of touched on this earlier here in the stream, and then I know you guys on Geeky Collector Vault touched on this also in a couple of your previous episodes here, but specifically regarding time and how much time we have now. We're all here, we're at different phases or stages of our lives. We have different lifestyles, right? But we're all gamers, and so one of the things that you guys were talking about kind of got me thinking about this aspect of it, and how we choose the games we play nowadays, where we're at now, right? Like based on how much time we have, are we looking for games that are somewhat short, that are in depth, longer? Do we kind of see kind of somewhere between? And then in that, how do we approach those games? So like, again, for like the games that are like longer, do you play them a certain way to get through them, or something along those lines? I don't know. I just kind of want to hear from everyone, give your takes on how you choose a game, currently where you're at, and which game you want to play, aside from just obviously like the rave reviews or hearing good things about it. And Viking, we'll start with you.
Yeah, okay. So I choose my games in two ways. I usually have a game. Well, I used to, until I got the Portal. I used to have a game that I can play around the kids, and then a game that I can't play around the kids, because games like Silent Hill, they would never sleep again. So
just like me.
Yeah. But now I've got the Portal. They take over the TV, and then I can just sit on the Portal, and then they just don't know. So that's not too bad. But yeah, so I used to try and have those sort of games, and also just one that's really easy to play, that doesn't take too much. Like, for example, a Wukong game. Even though Wukong isn't too bad now I've finished it, but playing that before, you just spend 5 hours dying, and it's like I've only got a couple of hours a day to play something. I'll throw something else on and I'll come back to it, and then you just lose track of those games because you just don't go back. You'll go on to another game. But now I'm getting older, and I feel like I get to the point now where I just need to stay on one game, because if I leave that one game, I just won't go back to it. And that's I won't ever get to finish it. But yeah, it's definitely a story game. Anything that's got a really good story, or horror, is always going to grab me instantly. So you've got your Dead Space, the Callisto Protocol, that was not terrible, different sort of mechanics in that, but it was quite good. Interesting story. You've got Chronos. Like, all of those, if it's horror in space, I'm instantly grabbed. Like,
gotcha.
I'm straight away going to be right. I need to play this game.
List.
Yeah, instantly. But then you've got like certain games that will have big names. Resident Evil, like me and Jim, very much looking forward to getting 9. And so I do try new ones, but also because I just don't have the time anymore. It is very, like, my list of games I want to get to is just ridiculous at this point. There's like 3 or 4 just on my PlayStation now that is just sitting there, not been touched yet, because I just can't get through them like I used to. I'm sure we all did it. We just sit there all day long playing games and never coming off it. But now you got to be an adult, and it's so boring.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that one, man.
Yeah,
I definitely hear you. Blue, what about you? How do you approach in which games you play, time wise?
Anything that really grabs me. I like long story games, I like single player games. It's rare that I actually pick up a multiplayer game. The last game I played, damn, I don't even remember, to be honest.
It was a while ago, yeah.
Oh, Dying Light the Beast. That was that game. I love those Dying Light games. I love zombie games. I get to kill zombies all day. That's fun. So it's something you can just pick up and, you can play for 20 minutes or something. And,
pop in, pop out.
Yeah. I got a backlog too of games I haven't played yet. I still want to play the Ghost of Tsushima, and the new one. I forget what that's called. The
Ghost of Yote.
Yeah, that one.
Amazing.
Horizon Zero Dawn. I think they made another one too, but
yeah, Forbidden West. Those are really good games. I love
Never got into
Horizon.
those games.
I got those on the backlog too. I just haven't had time to play them.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, it sounds like you're there with Viking and I. Vita, speaking of, you just finished, as you mentioned on your latest episode, your stream Geeky Collector or Geeky Collector Vault. Yeah, sorry, I'm over some of my words here. Yeah, I know, right? Sorry. How do you approach games and you're kind of deciding now what you're gonna play next now that you beat that game, Ghost of Yote. So how do you approach on which one you're gonna play?
So mostly I rely on Jim to recommend me games because he played so many more games than I have. Because for example, once I moved to UK, there was a long period I haven't played games because I didn't have consoles or anything or I didn't have time and such. And just in I think I went back into gaming properly, I would say through the lockdown times when obviously nothing else was to be done.
Yeah.
Just to spend time at home. And I was like, oh, man, I used to love video games. And I think that was the first time I completed all the Tomb Raider. Well, not all.
Oh, nice.
The new ones, I suppose. I never played the pixelated ones, yeah. The thing is, with the pixelated ones as well, I can't go back to them because I'm just now kind of a snob because I like it to look pretty.
I see, you're a graphics snob.
So if the graphics are really bad, I struggle because when I played the Red Dead Redemption 2, I was I fell in love with the game straight away. And then Jim was like, oh, you should play the first one. And I put the game on and I was like, you expect me to play this after I played that beautiful game? Look at this quality. But I did complete the story still, complaining about it. So mostly I think I choose it by a story. Very futuristic ones sometimes put me off. I just can't kind of get into them. I will be honest, very often I am more going to more historical old stuff. So Western, some samurai, Ghost of Tsushima, now Ghost of Yote. I think it's just because I enjoy history per se. So for me, all the historic kind of relating games are very interesting and I enjoy those stories. Then also the same is something what brings me nostalgia. So for, I always go back to Mario. So we have Nintendo Switch. So now and then I'm just gonna pick it up and I'm just gonna go through Mario. I'm just gonna play through the levels. And then I get frustrated that I'm not as good as I used to be as a kid. And I'm just gonna put it away for a while.
Yeah.
But usually it's story based, or if someone recommends me something, or if it's a big hype, which happened with the Hogwarts Legacy. I'm big Harry Potter fan, so I had high hopes for it. I finished it. It was nice, but definitely not a game I'm gonna go and replay. Where Red Dead Redemption, even now just talking about it, is should I just replay that now, because sometimes I go for the games for comfort as well. Something, if I don't know, something stressful in my life or something like that happens, sometimes I want to go to something familiar and I'm just gonna replay the game and it's just kind of like a comfort blanket for me as well. So yeah, it usually depends on the how my life is going on, how I'm feeling, and if I feel adventurous, I'm gonna pick up new game. If I just want to relax and forget everything, I'm probably gonna go in something similar and just lose myself in the world.
Yeah, no, that's a big part of it. Yeah, mood is definitely, and that affects me too, like which game I feel like playing. Even with my backlogs that I have, like you guys, like, okay, like what others backlog, which games you want to play, and that's definitely a factor. Like, what am I in the mood for, right? And I know you're big on moods also, Vita, so yeah, I definitely hear you on that one. I can relate on that one. And then
actually, sorry, as we were talking, I was just thinking of like the question for probably everyone after Jim says how he chooses the games. I just like, I'm interested on all of you like take how do you feel about carry on playing game after you completed like the story, and like when you have everything unlocked and it's like, hey, like you can replay it all now. I just want to see how many people are interested actually doing it. For me, I lose interest straight away. I was like, well, that's it. There's no story. It's just open world and I'm just running around. But I already seen all of it. So I lose interest and I'm like, I don't care. So yeah, just interested on your guys' sake.
No, actually, that's we'll come back to that after I get Jim's take on it, because that actually segues. That's a good segue to the next topic. So thanks for setting that up there, teeing that up, Vita, on that. But Jim, before we jump into that topic, how about you? How do you, since I know you're suggesting games to Vita, she relies on you. How do you go about choosing your games in regards to time and just like what you're looking for?
I don't think I factor in time so much because the length of the game doesn't bother me too much. It's just it's just about the game itself. So I always like to have a multiplayer game kind of on the go, because I like to have quick drop-in sessions, because sometimes I might go a week or so where I'm just not in the mood to really get into a game, and I just want to do more things like content creation or photography and stuff like that. So I'm always kind of battling the different hobbies that I have. So it kind of comes down to whatever hobby I'm kind of vibing with at that time more, to be honest. Recently games have been the big one. It's probably because we're talking about it a lot more. But I'll always have something like Call of Duty, just so like if I got like a spare 20-30 minutes, I can jump in, do a few games, jump out. And I find them really therapeutic because they're completely mindless, right? So I'm not like a pro, I don't sweat at the game or anything like that. So I just jump in. If I do really good, cool. If I do really bad, whatever, it's fine. Normally, if you do really bad in like 5 games, it will give you an easy lobby of people that are also really bad, and I have a good game. So that always feels good after a few losses. So I like to do that as like my my relaxation time. And then same with Parasite. I'm a big survival horror fan. So I replay even the original Resident Evils yearly all the time. Nice. Resident Evil's the thing that got me into collecting. It's what got me into video games. It's what got me into pop culture. It's just like that's like if you ask me like what if you had to get rid of all the franchises apart from one, what would you keep? It would just be Resident Evil. That's my thing. So any of those games, I pretty much have them downloaded on my PlayStation all the time. If I just feel the need to jump into any one of them, from OG series to Village at the moment. And then massive fan of single player games. So now that Vista's finished it, I'm playing Go to Yote, and that game is incredible, by the way. And there's a difference between watching someone play it, and I was watching Vista play, and I was like, yeah, this game looks alright. And then I'm playing it, and like I'm actually watching the story now, and A, the graphics are amazing, and B, just like the way the game plays, it's just such a big improvement over Ghost of Tsushima in so many ways, yet also instantly recognizable. It's really good. So I'm playing that at the moment, and it's just, I'm really excited for that. And I know that's going to be a big chunk of game time, but yeah, so I don't factor in time so much, because I know like whatever time I'll get, I'll play through it, and if it takes me a month, that's fine. If it takes me years, that's fine. I do struggle to have more than one story game going at the time, unless it's games I've beaten before. If I've beaten before, I can play multiple different games. It doesn't bother me. If it's a new story that I haven't experienced, I'm like, it's the only thing I can focus on and play through. So that's kind of how it works for me.
Gotcha. Well, no, thank you all for sharing that. I mean, bring up Johnny Chronicles here saying the last game I played was Red Dead Redemption 2, and that was about 2 years ago. I haven't picked up my PS4 controller since. Yeah, that's kind of another thing I'm noticing in general, right? It's just like, in addition to the time, it's just, where our interest lies. And if we're feeling like gaming, I guess, for Jim, like you just mentioned, it was like about a week, right? We took a break from gaming, and for Johnny, it's been like 2 years. So maybe it'd be longer or shorter, somewhere in between. For me personally, yeah, I a lot of points that you guys pointed out, or you brought up, I kind of agree with. Me and Viking and I are in the same situation in that we have kids as well, and so that once obviously once that happens, your time gets completely, I don't want to say completely, but it gets drastically diminished, right? So and we all parent differently, so some may have more time than others and different things going on in our lives. So yeah, when I was younger, man, I was high school, middle school, I remember getting a game, renting a game, like a physical game, back when you used to be able to rent those, and I would just stay up all night through the weekend trying to beat it. And I think Vita, you mentioned this as well as one of your past streams. Yeah, and just before you had to take it back, right? Just trying to beat it through because you wanted to beat it. So yeah, and I did that for a while after that. Stayed up playing as long as I could. All the games that I had, would try to get everything. And then as you guys touched on, was you start getting older, you get more and more responsibilities. And so now I'm at the point where I personally have to kind of look at how long a game will take to complete, and I definitely have to factor that at the end, right? Because if there's games that take a while to play and get through, I might have put those on a lower priority versus others that won't take as long. So again, this is kind of all relative, right? And you guys touched on this on your show as well, about difficulty itself, like the difficulty of a game, and putting it like on an easy mode or a story mode to get through it quicker. And that's actually something that I do as well. Like, whereas before, I always loved the challenge. I used to put a game on hard difficulty and play it through that. And no matter how many times I died, I would get through it. And I did that with the previous God of Wars, the 2018, I guess if you want to call it the reboot / remake, the newer God of Wars. Basically, I played that on a harder difficulty, and I would get through it. Now I in addition to the time it takes, I also go on an easier difficulty. Normally normal. I just kind of go with the default, right? Because, and depending on the game, maybe sometimes easy, because I just want to get through the story and complete it. I know it's like, as shameful as that is, I just don't have the amount of time, to spend, like Viking was mentioning, on certain games, to keep dying over and over again. I mean, yeah, I would love to, have that feeling or that sense of accomplishment of beating a boss and just going through it, but I just can't. That's like a luxury that I don't have at the moment. And so I just put it on an easier mode just to get through it, so I can get through the story and see the game for what it is, right? And actually be able to enjoy it all, because that's something that's in my mind too, is like, I want to be able to enjoy the game as the developers, created, the time and effort they put in to make this game, and I want to make sure I experience at least the story and the game in itself, right? And so if I kind of step up the difficulty and I get tired of it, or I just give up because I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere, and I just stop. And I think, Viking, you mentioned this earlier too, that you kind of just take a break. You just kind of leave. You just drop it, basically. You just go on to the next game. And I don't want to do that, right? So I want to be sure I give my time and effort and appreciate what the developers made. And so part of me is like, I don't want to do that to them. They put this time and effort into this, making this good game. Hopefully it's a good game right now. I want to enjoy it. So there's that part of it. Side quests. I know you guys mentioned Ghost of Yotei that has side quests. Things like that. Sometimes I kind of skip them. Yeah, right. So another something else I sacrifice, as much as I would love to. Like I said, I used to want to 100% complete games. It's just now, I kind of have to cut it short where I can, or I have to make those sacrifices just to get through the game, which is a shame, again, right? Because I feel like I'm robbing the developers of creating this world that they did. But still, like, I want to at least enjoy some aspect of it. So at least the main story and the main quest. And so if I have time, I will go back and I'll complete the side quest. And that kind of goes to what you mentioned, Vit, on your game, like your question, sorry. So Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, those games, I just started playing. My attention was just get to the story, but there's just those games, I'm sure you all know, like, they just hook you and you want to keep playing. And it sounds like, Vita, for you is Yotei. And yeah, I just wanted to do everything, and I knew I was spending more time on this one game and taking away time from others, but it just pulled me. I just wanted to be in there and do as much as I can. And so yeah, I spent hours. Like I think that's one of my longest played games or time spent is Tears of the Kingdom. I spent over 100 hours on that game just because I loved it and I wanted to play and get everything as much as I can. I didn't 100% it, but still, like I did a lot of it. So yeah, that was one of the games I got sucked into. And Prince of Persia again, Lost Crown. That I beat the game, but I wanted to go back and find all the collectibles, everything, and I did. And I still felt like, I wanted to keep playing. I'm like, man, there has to be more stuff to do. And if there wasn't, but I wanted to keep playing. It was so good. And so there's just certain, those exceptions, right? We're like, okay, you know what? I want to keep playing this game because I'm enjoying it, right? That's another part of it, like enjoying the game that you're playing. And it's just, there's a lot of factors. And it's just, unfortunately, like Jim said, I also have other hobbies, streaming, just like YouTube content, things like that. That's part of it. The action figures, movies, TV shows, parenting, I should say, adult life. Yeah, it's a lot, right? So now I'm having to juggle all that. So I gotta give some place to put it in another place. Right? You guys know the balance, right? So it's a lot, man. It is a lot, but I don't want to give up gaming completely because it's just a lot of great stuff out there. Unfortunately, I don't have the time I would like to get to my backlog as soon as I could, right? So I don't know, anything else you guys want to add to that? I know that was a lot, but there's a lot of this thoughts came to my head as you guys were talking and like listening to your previous streams. So anything else to add?
I think you nailed it. I feel like we all feel pretty much the same way when it comes to playing games nowadays, being older and having more life responsibilities, and you just don't have the time to fit in the games that you do. But yeah, you're totally right. We all do have those games that just really, really suck us in. Like for me, I think the last one was Death Stranding 2. Like that, just that world, that story. It's just, I love that game to bits. And there's just a few, like, it does seem though, now I'm thinking about it, it's all the Sony games that I just really get invested in. Like the Horizon game, I love those games. Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, like these all God of War. That it seems to be all the Sony games that they really focus on this story-driven, massive world with all this lore, and you just can get sucked in and stay there. I was literally just thinking, it's like all my favorite games are that, like pretty much. And then sprinkle it in between those coming out. Then you've got the survival horror games like Dead Space and Chronos and Resident Evil.
Days Gone as well, didn't you?
I think all of the Sony PlayStation games that they do, like Days Gone, I played all of that, finished it. The story was great, the gameplay was great.
Yeah, more people need to play that game because I don't think it got enough. I don't think it got enough love, truly.
Oh, I totally agree. That it was just such a unique take on a zombie game, I think, and it was just so much fun. Like if you've played it, then like the fact that you could go, right, well, they're going to come from that direction, so if I lay a bunch of traps around this bit and then just watch them all blow up, it was just so fun doing that. And then you go, oh crap, now I've got no ammo, and then you just got to leg it because they're all chasing you.
Get back on the bike and run, dude.
Run as quickly as you can because they're just gonna.
But just like, no thank you.
I tried playing it. I was like, no, too stressful. I like to be in control and see my enemies and fight them with a gun or katana, And like you mentioned, Feezys, that you spent like over 100 hours on the Zelda game. I actually completed the Ghost of Yotei in like 60 hours. And nice. I didn't complete 100%. And Jim was playing today, and I don't know what I was doing. And I looked at the screen. I was like, "Where are you? I don't recognize this." And I was like, "Open the map. Show me where you are." He shows like, "Oh," I was like, "I didn't find this place." He was like, "Oh, you sure you was distracted enough then to go like and visit all the places?" But honestly, like I said on our stream on Thursday as well, I want like him to start playing it so I can speak to somebody about it. And he literally was saying to me, like, "Oh, I see now how easily you can get distracted from your main story because there's just so many things pulling you all different ways." And now I'm like sitting here like, oh, I want to replay it now because I didn't finish it. I didn't find like this like a little side quest. And I was really trying actually to get to all the side quests because I really enjoyed. And as I said, once I finish the main story, like I lose interest to go and do them as well. It's just because like you have everything unlocked, you see everything, and there's no stories, just like you with all your abilities and with everything. And for me, like it's not interesting. I like that progression and I like that difficulty, like going through it. So it's like, now I'm like annoyed. It's like I don't want to watch you play anymore because like I'm gonna see more things I missed. I don't want that.
Isn't that a good feeling though? Where like when you realize like, oh damn, there's like more. Kind of similar again to Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, right? Where like you can they literally just explore wherever, and you can go wherever you want. It's like one of the things I love about that game, and just like games like that in general, just exploring. You go on your own path, and there's like somewhat of a path you could follow, but and when you see somebody else playing the game and you find out areas that they weren't before, that just tells you like, oh, what, there's still more to explore that I haven't come across. And it's just like, I'm sure you probably want to go back into it and you want to jump on that game when Jim's not playing.
For me, it's like I get like an game envy. So like he's replaying it and I'm envious. So I was like, I want to play it. I want to play it. I want to experience it again.
You want to keep playing, right? You just have that feeling,
exactly.
Yeah, were you going to say Viking?
I was just going to say, I'm very similar to Vita, that the fact that once I finish a story, usually I'm out unless I'm really, really interested. But there's been a couple of games recently, like Chronos. The moment I finished that game, and with that ending, it's like it's not the ending, and you have to play it again. And it was the same for Silent Hill F as well. When I finished that, I was like, it doesn't feel like the end, but I don't really want to play it again. And then Jim was like, no, you need to play it again. Like jump straight back in. You need to play, and it really is. It's. There's some of these games now that it's almost like you have to play more than once to even get the full story. And especially with Silent Hill F, I was saying to Jim, I was like, that game needed a word or a sentence saying this is not the end of the story. You need to play it again, because the story does continue like completely in the second playthrough, and things are changing and things are different. It's like, I feel like if they're going to do that more often, they really need to like make it really clear, because if Jim didn't say play it again, I would have left that, and I would have been just very much like, oh, that ending was very sort of okay, it didn't do too much for me. But playing it again and seeing new things and seeing the story unfold even more, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now, and it's hitting with me a lot more this time, going through the second. And the same with Chronos as well, going through that again and having that, and the way that ends to then link into the next playthrough, it's so different and so unique. And it does seem to be happening more and more often now, where the end isn't the end, and you really do need to start replaying these games.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's true, like the multiple endings aspect of it, and kind of like having to look up after, or even before you go see a movie, to see if there's any post-credit scenes or mid-credit scenes like that. You want to make sure you get everything, so you have to now go and look it up and make sure. That's actually the difference for me, right? If I play through a game, and kind of going back to Vita's question, if I go and play through the game and then I find out there's either like an alternate ending, again, this is kind of the point at the point where I'm at now with gaming, is like, if I have to play through the whole story again, I'm better off just like watching a video or something on YouTube, or if there's like I'm also not want to go back and play it like on what do they call it, like extra plus, those extra plus modes where they make it slightly harder again, like just because I don't need to play it again. I've already played through the main story, like you guys were saying, and so I'm good. But again, if there's side quests that I still can do and I haven't played, and I still want to be within that world or continue playing that game, then after I complete the main story quest, then I'll go back and do all the side quests that I didn't do, just so I can keep getting that feeling, or that game. What do you call it? Like that part of that, feed that addiction, right? Of wanting more. Like, I need more. And so again, I always use that Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, because that's the last one I played where I felt like that. So. That's kind of,
every time I play the Red Dead Redemption, I still go for the same ending. I cannot make myself to be a bad guy, and I always go for my sunrise, die alone. you know, with the validation. I cannot make myself to be a bad guy. Like, just no.
Can't lower that honor, you know, at all.
No,
gotta be,
My honor now goes so high up from beginning of the game if I replay it. It's crazy. Like, I end up with so much like money and everything. I just give things for everyone. I just like bring morale up in the camp. I was like, yes, guys, let's go forward. I'm a nice guy.
And that's another game that you could play like over again, because there's so much they put in Red Dead Redemption 2. There's just little bits and little stories here and there little side quests for everything, and it was all just it was a beautiful game.
It's just like you again, you're going to like a different point, and someone says, "Hey, mister," and you're like, "Yes." Who's that? Where are you?
One of the best scenes in that game, you miss it as well. It's the scene with the nurse at the train station. So when Vita played it, I was like, oh, when you get to a certain point, you need to do all these stories with the nurse, because I missed it on my first playthrough and I saw it afterwards. And I was like, that scene's like one of the best scenes in the entire game. It's like so emotionally charged, and it's like such a good moment. Well, not a good moment, but a great moment for Arthur. And I was just like, you need to do it. And I think you found the nurse and you did all that. That was a really good scene, that bit.
Nice.
Great game.
Yeah, you guys, you here, and then others I've heard mention that game and praise that game, and that's actually on my backlog, and I have it. I just haven't got around to play it. I played it, I started it, but then it's just one of those things where I think that the really early beginning of the game was kind of started off like slow, and then I lost interest quick, and I was like, you know what, I'll come back to it. I never did, so I have to. At this point, I just need to start all over basically and play it from start and keep playing. But you know, after hearing you guys talking about it more and more, and it just kind of makes me want to go back and play it and make sure I give it an opportunity, right? Because that's another game it seems like I need to give a chance. So,
man, play it when you can, dude, because that game is just amazing.
Yeah, that's you guys. You're praising.
It's still
I keep hearing
my
that.
favorite game today. Like,
look at that. See,
like the best of the best for me. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, so I definitely need to make that higher a priority, I guess, there, and put that higher on my list.
And to answer Vita's question, it's rare for me to find a game that I want to play over and over again. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, there was just so much they packed in that game that I did play over. But once I, like, for like new game pluses and stuff like that, like I just can't. Like, what you have all your stuff that you accumulated over this game, and eventually you become overpowered and you just breeze right through it, and that's not interesting to me. It's got to have some sort of level of difficulty to, but it's rare. Like Red Dead Redemption 2. Dying Light was another one. They just put so much into the game. They add so much things into the game. Just like Red Dead Redemption 2, there's so many side quests, so little stories that are super cool that they throw in there. And you don't get it through the regular playthrough. We talked about it earlier. Days Gone. That's another game that I played again and again because there was just so much and a great freaking story. And I just wanted to support that game as well because I loved it that much.
Awesome.
But it's rare.
Yeah, it sounds like another game I need to add to the list. That's no I've been intrigued by, but it wasn't that high of a priority. The Days Gone. It looked like a cool concept, but I just haven't got around to it.
I love the fact that in that game is like your bike is like your horse in Red Dead. Mm-hmm. Like you treat it well, you look after it, you upgrade it. You don't want it getting broken. Like it's like it's such a such a big part. And I love bikes, and I ride bikes, and I enjoy bikes. Okay. So having that aspect in a game really connected as well. I just like that just style of him on the motorbike like that. Yeah. Just that in itself is so much fun. And then you throw in zombies as well, and it's just like
you're sold. I'm in.
Yep.
Yeah. See, like I kept I now keeping my horse through like the same through all game. I just max it out the health and everything, and I just this is my buddy. This is I don't need some speedy racehorse. Keep it. This is my horse, and I'm keeping it to the end. So I think it basically makes that emotional impact as well. At the end, not just spoil, but it's just like I think that's gonna be my next game, because I'm just thinking about it and I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
Mafia.
Yeah, I should.
You'll get through Mafia really quickly and then jump through onto Red Dead.
She'll race through it.
Yeah.
That's another set of games, right? You guys just remind me that where I kind of just play through the story, as big as they are. Grand Theft Auto 5, GTA 5. You know, I'm probably one of the few, or I would say there was a good amount, but not as. I kind of went the route of just going through and completing the story, which was actually pretty cool. I like the variation there, but I know a lot of people are just kind of go in like the sandbox and just do everything else. But again, that game is just so big, and it sounds like, from what I understand, Redemption 2 is the same way. It's just so big, right? You can do so much. It's just easy to spend so many hours in that game, and so I'm like, I need to focus and just get through the story. So when I play it, that's what I'm going to do. But there's some side quests that come up that are interesting. I may kind of veer off the path there, but I'm going to try to remain disciplined and get through that game, just so I can play it through at least. We got 6-Scale Mafia in the chat. Thank you for coming through, Mafia. Hope you're doing well. Saying stayed up all night when MK Mortal Kombat came out on the Sega Genesis. Apparently the best game is Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis, by the way. So I've heard. Yeah. It says ABACABB blood code. Yeah, man. I didn't. Nice. Yeah, the blood code. I was jealous of the Genesis players, because I was, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and I know they had the blood code on the Genesis. But yeah, speaking of codes, man, I know some people relate to this and have done this too. But I was one of those kids who would go, every time I would go to the grocery store with my mom, she would go out and get things she would need to. I would go straight to the magazine aisle equipped with my pen and paper and start copying codes from like Chips and Tricks magazines or like EGM, and just get all the games I want to get. And it's just funny, like thinking back now, I can just like, the other people walking down the aisle, they just kind of turn the aisle and they see a little kid there on the floor writing codes on like a notepad or a little piece of paper. A piece of paper. Sometimes it would just be a piece of paper. I would just take those down, and yeah, man. Oh man, classic. Those are the days. Now we have internet.
Those were the days.
Right? Now you just go to Google.
Yeah, exactly. It's so convenient. Yeah.
But it's the same, like, again, when I was trying to make Jim play Mario Bros. It's like, no, I was like, stop here, and jump in the air. It's like, it's nothing there. It's like, there is, it's a hidden mushroom. It's like, you're gonna get an extra life. It's like, how do you know this? I was like, yeah, I played it too much when I was a kid.
Remember that stuff.
It sticks with you. That's the stuff that sticks with you.
Yeah, I used to play, like, right so much. Yeah.
Yeah. It's here was Johnny Chronicles here saying, I was a trophy whore and completionist, which can be a bad thing for your social and work life. Yeah, man, I hear you. Yeah. Like I said, I was all about that too. Not so much trophies, but just trying to, for myself, like getting a lot of the collectibles and a lot of finding everything I could in certain games. But no, I definitely hear you on that one.
Yeah, I never got into the trophies. That thing would pop up on the top of the screen, and you did this, and I'm like, oh, there's that. Oh, whatever. I never got into the
same.
Like platinuming the game or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I mentioned like not so much the trophies, because like I would just do something that interests me. Right? If I got a trophy, I got a trophy. But you go back and look at some of the trophies. Some of them were just kind of like so mundane tasks. Like I don't want to want to be bothered with doing. It was just kind of like it didn't really add to the story or the game at all. It was just like something that you had to do. It's just like grinding and time consuming, monotonous. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I can skip that. And so that's why I don't really.
I'm just like that until I finish a game and it goes, you've got 92%, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like so close. I could just do like a few more trophies and I'll get 100%. That's like, if I'm like, you finished and you're at 20% of the trophy, I'm like, that's fine, I can leave that. But if it's that close, I'm like, I need to finish that now because I'm that close to it. I did that with Ghost of Tsushima. I was like, I finished, I think I was at like 95%, and I had to just do like one or two things. I was like, I've got to do it now, and I had to do it, and that's like one of the only ones I've got a platinum on.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, there's something similar for again, Tears of the Kingdom. You have to find, I think it was like 100, I believe it was, like Korok seeds, and they're just hidden throughout the world. And it was just like, and I kind of either overheard or Googled what you get if you collect them all, and it wasn't even anything worthwhile. I think it was just like a special like golden Korok or something like that. So it was kind of like, what, that's not worth my time. That's another thing too. If it's like, if the game or the developers, they don't respect your time with the fact that you decide to spend your time doing something like collecting things like that, and it's just like something minor, I'm just like, I'm good then. I mean, others may enjoy that, but just for the sake of collecting them. But I was like, I don't need to go through all that. So, I'm kind of with you guys. I was just like, I depending on what it is, I usually just skip it.
Mm-hmm. I do agree with that though. Like, you see that percentage and you're that close. It's like you do. Like, I go back and like, I might as well because I enjoy them that much.
You're so close. I mean, you're like,
yeah,
might as well do it. Johnny Chronicles asking here, real quick here, how do you guys feel about 2 to 4 player co-op games like Borderlands and Resident Evil 5? My quick take is I actually haven't played those. I do enjoy 2-player couch co-op games. I've mentioned before in other streams. I really enjoyed It Takes Two. I played that with my wife, and I'm now playing with my kids. Really fun game. Both for non-gamers and gamers alike, and I'm on to Split Fiction. I'm playing that with my wife. We need to go back and finish it, but like games like that I really enjoy because I kind of miss that feeling of playing again, going back to older games, which will next topic here, but just kind of touch on that, just like that feeling of playing with your friends nearby in the same room and just kind of sharing that experience. So yeah, any of you guys want to take a stab at that question there? 2 to 4 player co-op
me
games.
and Jim as well play quite a few. I think the first one we played it was like Years of Wars, wasn't it? The first one we played together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yes. we did. During lockdown, we went through a lot of couch co-ops, and actually
went
that's
through
when
all
I realized,
Years of Wars.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
That's when I realized they don't make enough couch co-ops anymore, and it's actually something they need
nowadays
to look into a little bit.
It's all online.
Yeah. We did have a game. What else? We did play a bit of Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to get you into Halo, but you were like, nah.
Yeah, at the time, I see. That's what I was saying with that, like futuristic and the futuristic side. Sometimes it just doesn't click with me. Because what was that other one? Where she has like a thing on her face and it's all like holograms and things. I tried to play it, but I didn't get into the story. And
that's just, Aloy? That's,
maybe I don't even remember the name of the game. Like,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Something with the Horizon. Like the quality of the game, and again the views were amazing, but I just didn't get into the story, and I just moved on. I don't remember what I moved on, but I just moved on because it just didn't grab me. But I think we playing Split Fiction at the moment. The first one was It Takes Two, and now we halfway through, I think, through Split Fiction, and then now and then it's Mario Kart basically until I lose my patience because Jim keeps winning.
We used to like Injustice quite a lot.
Okay, Injustice.
So there's a fighting game.
She used to win every time, but then she got really good, and she started to beat me more often than I'd like. And I was like, oh, this game's not fun anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, after a while of losing, you kind of get over it. Like, okay, it's up next.
Yeah, he has Mario Kart. I got Injustice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Viking? Are you into co-ops at all? I guess not necessarily couch co-ops, but just co-ops in general. To Johnny's question.
No, I do. I used to play, especially when I was younger. I used to play with every co-op game with my brother. We would look and go, right, what ones are co-op? Army of Two comes to mind. Love that game for a co-op. That was really good fun. Gears of War, really good. Zombies, like World War. That was really good. Not so much now. The kids are only just getting to the age now where they can play a game successfully, and now even my son is getting really good. So I could definitely play with them now. But they're like you've said a bunch of ones that do sound really good, and I've seen some of them and I've heard they're really good. One that did catch my attention recently, I think just came out. I think it's called like Reanimal, but it's a horror one, and that looks
awesome.
Yeah, that's
really good.
They don't normally grab my attention as much, but because that's horror, I was like, oh, that looks really creepy, and that would be quite fun to give a go.
Xbox Game Pass, so I downloaded that, so I'll let you know.
I would love to see you two play that, especially just seeing little like. I don't want to move.
I was about to say, just to see me shouting and screaming.
We should totally do that and stream it. That would be hilarious.
It would be so fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Camera's gonna be just on Jim. You just can't hear me, then that's it.
Yeah,
just to hear you screaming, run out the room.
Exactly, it screams in the background.
This can be our next live stream.
I probably would just close my eyes and press buttons.
Yeah. You can't tell if the screams are coming from the game or from it.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Blue, what about you? Any Anything you want to add to that, to co-op games in general? Are you a fan of them or no? Oh, you're muted, I think. Well, no, it shows you're not muted, but I can't hear you. Oh,
No,
I
I can't hear him.
Yeah, he'll work on that. While he's working on that, another thing I was gonna add, going back to like the hours spent too, or time playing a game. One game that I got into, like, was not expecting to go in as deep as I wanted to, was Fortnite. You know, my son, he was playing it, and you know, I kept hearing all this talk about Fortnite, and I was curious on what it was. And my side note, my son, you know, started playing games around that time. Actually just before then, which is, you know, something that obviously made me proud as like a parent gamer. You know, having my kids get in it, would have been inevitable, right? But that was the first game that I actually like played with, like, him and I played. And so I created an account specifically just so I can, for that experience, right, to have that time to play and share something with my son, like have a game to play with him on. And so yeah, I created an account, and it was around like it was like Thanksgiving time of 2024, and we were out of town. And so I think that's another reason why, just because I had some time, we were away. It's like, you know what, we're kind of on holidays, I want to figure we spend some time playing that. And so yeah, I did, and I just got hooked. And and then I started playing. I'm like, oh, okay, now I see why this is so big. Like, it made sense to me anyways. It clicked with me, and like I just enjoyed everything about it. And I got hooked, man. That was the game I focused on for a good chunk of time, like putting everything else aside. Like I mentioned with Tears of the Kingdom, that game I spent, you know, a good amount of money on and time on, if I'm being honest. And it was my son and I, we played a lot. And, you know, for one, it just like hit me right here, like the fact that we were connecting like on the same game, and we spent a lot of time, you know, the weekends and evenings where we could. And it was just really awesome. So I don't know if you want to count that as a co-op game, Johnny, what you were mentioning here, 2 to 4. But yeah, I just was hooked on Fortnite. And I loved, everything about it. It was just so fun, especially, again, sharing that experience with my son on that. And so I've actually since stopped playing for a few months now. Shockingly, I'm like, oh damn, I haven't, for some, maybe I just got over it or what. But I definitely want to revisit it. But it was just like in that period too, where that came out with the Star Wars season, a Simpsons season. Oh man, I was just eating it all up. It was just so awesome. Yeah, and it was cool. Yeah, I just enjoyed it so much. And it's like another one of those games, you know, where like people kind of shrug off, and I kind of did at first initially. I'm not gonna lie, it's like a kid's game because a lot of kids were talking about it. But then when I started playing, I found out like there were actually a lot more adults and just like older people playing it. And so it was like, oh damn, okay, now I see the appeal of it. And it's just fun. Blue, sorry, you back now? Nope. For some reason, we still can't hear you. At least I can. Can you guys hear?
No, I can't. No.
Okay.
To follow on what you were saying though, Feezy, that game for me was Wukong.
What was Wukong? Okay.
Yeah, playing Wukong. So I started playing it, and then my kids were sort of around because that was one I could play while they were around. And I'm like, this is cool. Can we have a go? And then we played, I would say, pretty much the entire game together. So we'd go around and fight a boss, and then whoever died against that boss would then go to the next person, and then so on and so. And we played the rest of that game the whole way through to the end, playing together.
That's awesome.
And I've never, as you were just saying, like that connection, I've never had it with any game ever. It was just and I think that's why Wukong has stuck with me so much. And like I got the figure, but it's just like playing with my kids, having that game like that's like my son still goes pretty much every day. Can we play Wukong today, Dad? Because it's just, he really like, and not only is he bloody good at it now, which is scary, but it's just so much fun. Like he came to me the other day and he was like, have you got the invoice for Zubajo yet? I was like, no, Indy, not yet. It'll come
for
soon.
The
he was like,
yeah,
for the figure. I was like, it'll come, just wait. And he was like, but we've got Wukong, we need him with it.
Yeah, no, I get his excitement, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're in trouble.
Yeah, I love that your kids are enabling you as well. That's great.
I know, right?
If I go to them, what do you think of this? And Bella will go, buy it, Dad. It looks so good. I was like, you're terrible. I should never come to you ever. What do you think of this? I think it'll look great next to this figure, Daddy.
Yeah, you come to me instead.
Yeah.
I'll save you some money.
No, you're not allowed it ever. And I'll be like, Bella, she said no.
Then your kid's gonna hate me, so that's not good.
Yeah, there was an actual moment there, where again, staying the topic with like playing with my son, he was where I actually got teary eyed because just like one of before I had kids, that was always a moment I looked forward to as a gamer myself. I just like the day when I'm gonna have kids and then we get to play, and years later, fast forward to years later when that actually time came and remembering that, kind of reminiscing on that thought and just kind of taking a step back and looking at him and I playing, and it actually brought a tear to my eye. It was just really, really awesome, wholesome moment there. And then shortly, not too long after, I think my daughter, she was seeing the how fun we seemingly have, my son and I, and just like maybe she just wanted to be a part of it, so which I obviously wasn't opposed to. So she then created an account for her of Fortnite, and all three of us we were running trios and we would go in and play, and she started getting more into it at one point and enjoying, looking forward to playing it, and it was just so fun, man. It was just so cool, and she lost interest quicker than I did, but the fact that she wanted to be a part of it, and we were just playing with both my kids. It was just so awesome, man. I just really enjoyed it. One of my fond memories. So Fortnite, kind of like you said with Wukong, Fortnite for me will be that game that I finally further establish that connection with my kids in gaming and sharing that hobby and that interest. So yeah, and then we've since played other games. Like I mentioned, It Takes Two. I played that with my son, and he was really like seeing his excitement and enjoyment playing that game. It was just really awesome. And I already had played it before that, but to go through it with him was really cool. But looks like we got Blue back. Blue, how's it going now?
Can you hear me now?
There it is. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
That's StreamYard, I guess. Anyway.
Co-op games. Yeah, sorry. What was your take on co-op games?
Yeah, I think the last co-op game I played was Double Dash, Mario Kart.
Oh, Mario Kart. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play the crap out of that game. The game was the best Mario Kart. But other than that, I don't usually play co-op games. It's usually online. I'll play with my brother and my sister, and nothing really couch co-op. So.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair. I gotcha. Yeah. To add to that point, right? The online and the multiplayer. Yeah, I'm with most of you all here. Like I tend to go to story-driven, single-player focused games, and I hardly play any of those online multiplayer. So I don't really play Call of Duty. Here and there, I'll play with my gaming friends, or just my friends in general. Like I'll play with them. Like Fortnite, I'll jump on and play with. Of course, I play more Fortnite. I would say that's the one I play the most online multiplayer. But the other ones I really don't play that much. It's just mostly single player story focused games for me. So kind of add to that. Johnny's saying, adding here, co-op games are great to play with friends and family. Great way to spend time together. Yeah, I definitely agree. And as we just shared with some of our experiences and our stories here. So yeah, definitely agree on that, man. We got S Beam in the house. What is up, S Beam? Says Johnny Jim Harrison, and the lady that only has eyes for Cavill. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, thanks for coming through, S Beam. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, also I know he's also a big fan of Red Dead Redemption 2, so he's also a gamer as well, and he's another one that vouches for and praises Red Dead Redemption 2, one of his favorite games, also I believe. So yeah, that's another reason why I need to go back and play, because I have so much.
I think he has all the figures as well released. So I always I know when SBeam is on the stream that I'm always gonna have a backup with Red Dead. So.
yeah, I got one of them, but not all of them. I just because it's a cowboy figure. That's how I see it. But I'm sure when I play the game, I'll have more appreciation for the Arthur Morgan or the not Arthur Morgan third party game.
I still got to get Micah. My brother got Micah. Or not Micah, but I still got to get that one too.
Yeah, they make some good ones, man. There's some good ones out there. All right. Yeah, I know we were kind of little mini topics in between there, but jumping on to the last topic, and we kind of touched on this here and there, so you guys can go in depth as much as you want. But I'll leave it to you. So revisiting old games, I know we talked about that when it was kind of touched on with Legacy of Kain. That was a a trailer, a remaster that was shown during the State of Play, so I was touching on that, and I mentioned Castlevanias, and Vita brought up, kind of a related topic about going back and playing games again, but just in general, right? This kind of came to me when the analog 3D, they came out with limited editions of the analog 3D, and for those that aren't familiar with it, the analog 3D is basically like a modernized Nintendo 64 system, so it just allows you to play your actual Nintendo 64 cartridges, right? So it's like another unofficial, I want to say it's like unofficial Nintendo 64 console, right? That's someone, man, I apologies if I forget who actually like developed it and created it, but yeah, like it looks really similar to Nintendo 64. You plug in your cartridge in it, and it has HDMI inputs. I believe it has like your classic CRT outputs, I believe, but it also has like the plugs to use your actual Nintendo 64 controllers if you have them. So it's basically just meant to replace your console, and you can throw in your actual game, but there's a bunch of settings in it to give you that CRT look, or if you want to go with like a upscaled look. There's multiple settings in there, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. And so, once I saw that come up, that brought up the topic here in my head, like how often. I know we've talked about this in our group chat here, but to discuss here on the stream, to finish up this the stream is, how often, or do you at all revisit old games, considering the fact we just talked about time and how do we choose the game we approach? So I'll just kind of leave this, throw it out to anyone here on the panel, if anyone who wants to take a shot at answering this. Do you revisit old games, and if you do, is there certain ones, or what's your take on it?
Yeah, I think I mentioned already that I often go to the old games. So Mario Bros are one of the games I always go back to. It for me just reminds me of the childhood, reminds me of me and my brother. That was where, like, my brother is like 5 years older than me, but that was the time where you didn't feel that age gap as much, because we both sat and played those games. Obviously he was better than me, especially when I was younger, but it's just Mario Bros, so there's Mario and Luigi, and you both have the same amount of lives. So I think that's how probably I learned a lot of the secret bits of the game and things like that, because him being older, obviously, and having friends who play the games as well. So for me, all those old games just brings me back, like, the memories. Like, even my parents used to play certain games with us. So there was this one, like a space game. I don't remember actually how it's called, but like, you literally like go with the rocket and you shoot whatever comes your way. And then my dad, I remember, loved like the ping pong game as well. And sometimes it used to be like, Dad, you're an adult, why are you playing the game? Like, go do some adult stuff. We want to play the game.
Shaming him,
yeah. So sometimes, I love to go back to those games. And as I mentioned before, like Red Dead Redemption is one of the games I keep going and replaying, no matter the time. Because sometimes I rather go and replay the game I enjoy than pick up the story I don't enjoy, and just I feel like I'm wasting my time on it. And sometimes, when a lot of time goes by, you don't remember all the details of the game. And as Blue said as well, I haven't finished, for example, the Red Dead 100% any time I played it yet, just because there's so much. Because one time maybe you finish one side thing, but you don't come across the other one, or you just skip that one because, like, oh, I remember this one. And it's just, the time passes, the story sometimes mixed between different games, and I enjoy going back to it. For me it's nice thing to do, because newer, it's not always better. So sometimes good old games are the best, even if Jim can't play the Mario Bros, but something I have to do on my own.
You gotta educate them. Like, teach them the ways. But you gotta show.
I'm trying to, but I have no patience.
Honestly, people say like Souls games are difficult. The original Marios and games like that, those are difficult games to beat. 100%. They're much tougher than any Souls game.
Oh, you think so? Huh? That's challenging.
100%. They're more brutal in like many ways. Like Souls, you'll die, but you can like respawn and go again. Some of these games you die and that's it. You start from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Jim was playing Mario first time and he ran out of time in the first level, and I was like, what are you doing? It's like, what is the timer going? I was like, yes. He's like, how am I meant to get everything?
It's like so stressful.
Yeah.
And then the music goes faster and then like intimidates you, and you're like, I need to get to the
Yep.
end.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. I would say once you get that down, Jim, that's how I developed, and I'm sure that goes for Vita and Blue. Like once you get those games down and you kind of get those gameplay mechanics, they carry over to like all other games, because again they just all start from those earlier games kind of pave the way for all these other games. And so yeah, it's just develop some skills in there, I think, that you wouldn't have got otherwise. But yeah, anyone else got any thoughts on revisiting old games? And it can be like as old as these, like from childhood older consoles to games you've already beat. Either way.
I basically, I'm like nostalgic for PS1 games mostly, so I'm actually excited for the Rayman that they announced on State of Play, so that's quite interesting. So games like that, I'd happily revisit them, replay them. But then I've kind of mentioned it already before, but Resident Evil, especially like on the PS5 right now, I have Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 2 just loaded on there because I know I'm going to want to play them. And I probably replay a Resident Evil game at least 3 or 4 times a year, if not more. And it'll be different ones. Like the original ones, I couldn't even tell you how many times I beat. Village, I've only beaten probably about 4 or 5 times. So like those games I'll go a bit mad for, and I'll just read the hell out of them. I just find them really replayable. I don't know why. It's just like especially things that you can speed run. Now I'm not a speed runner, and I don't really do that, but like you kind of work out routes and ways to get through things, and you kind of like master the game, and it's kind of like really satisfying to be able to do that. So those games I get mad for, and I'll replay them time and time again. Some games I've tried to replay, and Harris, I was talking to you about this. I tried to replay Evil Within, and I find some games from kind of the 360 PS3 era, they haven't aged so well, and that the game mechanics are now kind of awful, like they're not in a fun way. Like for example, like Resident Evil's famous for tank controls, right? I love them, I can get on with them fine, but I was replaying Evil Within, I was like, this game has not aged well from that, like a gameplay standpoint at all. So like those kind of games, I find it harder to go back and replay and enjoy it as much as I did. Evil Within 2, easier. I replayed a bit of that. It's more modern, so it's easier to kind of play through, but the 360 era games, a lot of them I find tough. Apart from Dead Space. Dead Space is a nice exception, and Resident Evil. But yeah, some games like that. The remake and the original. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the remake's it's basically the first game just with nice graphics.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Anyone else got any thoughts to share on revisiting older games?
Yeah. Similar to Jim, I find myself, especially with Resident Evil, funny enough, if there's a new one coming out, I'll go, I might start that again. And like, I did it for 8 when that came out. I went 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I played them all, and I played them all. But now I do find myself, if it's a new game that I love, like for example, Death Stranding, when that second one was coming up, I've replayed the first one ready, and then the same with Horizon. When the second one comes out, I'll replay the first. So I do usually time it just before a new one comes out. I'll time it like a month or so before I'll replay the first, just for like a refresher. Like I remember some of it, but there's little points I'll forget about. Oh yeah, that's what that happened. And I feel like when you time it well enough that you finish it just as you get the next one, I feel like I just enjoy that one so much more because I've replayed the one before it. So I tend to do that in that regards with replaying. And also just like going back to Resident Evil, like the amount of times I've played Resident Evil 4 because it's just had so many different remasters and remakes. Or Dead's like, if there's a game that gets a remake, I'll play it even though I know the story and I know what happens. I know that I love it and I'll still want to play it. Even to the point like Last of Us again. You got Last of Us on the PS3, then you got the remaster on PS4, and then you get the Last of Us remake. And it's just like, and yeah, every single time I've bought it, and I've bought that one, and I've enjoyed it every single time. And I would say now that anybody new to Last of Us, you should play it the original way,
Yeah.
but having Last of Us Part 1 and Last of Us Part 2 on the PS5 to play, like, it's so good. Even though I know what it is, and it's no real different, really. It's not like different story or anything. It's just sort of touched up gameplay, and it's
graphics.
Another game I absolutely love. Last of Us is just fantastic.
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely agree with you there. As far as like, that's one of my favorite games, Last of Us, and that's, you know, when I first played it on the PS3, my mind was just blown. Like, that's one of the games that I use as an example of where video games in general can have as good a story, if not better, and acting as some movies out there, right? And then, like, I stand by that. And we've had one since then. And it's like, anytime anyone mentions about, like, you know, I'm not a gamer, I don't like games, or whatever the case may be, or they kind of, again, going back to like a stigma of like games in general, like they're meant for, you know, younger audiences or kids, or, you know, like, or I'm adult now, I don't play games. It's just that mentality, you know, like that stigma. That's not really as much the case now, but when it was like, hey, you know, give games credit. They can be really well written, well told stories, and then obviously they made it. We all know they made a show out of it, right? And so whether you feel like the show is better or not, my opinion, I don't think it is. I think the game still holds better story wise and acting wise, but still, I appreciate it for what it was. It's like one of those ones, like, you know, I hope they would make a show out of this, so at least people can enjoy and experience the story, and they did. And so it's like a lot more people got to that. So yeah, I was just
you're seeing that happen more and more now, aren't they? Where you're just like, they're making shows and movies of these games because the stories in these games are some of the best stories around. Like, not just in video games, but in media in general. That they're just so compelling. And you can just see it from, like, you're getting Fallout and you're getting God of War and Last of Us, and they're going to all these games that we know the story is amazing. And I feel like the people where that you read the book and you go, oh well, the film's never going to be as good as the book. The book's amazing, and we're the same with the game. As soon as they went Last of Us, it's like, you're not going to be able to capture what they did in the game. And I enjoyed the show. I like the show because I love Last of Us, but it's not even remotely close to how good those games are, in my opinion. Like, they captured some of it. Season 2, part 2, while a lot of people dislike Last of Us Part 2, the story in that is just insanely good. I feel. I agree. I was one of the people straight away. I was on board with the Abby side of it and the Ellie side of it, and then the parallels and stuff. I loved all of that.
Same.
I really enjoyed that. So to see what they did with the second season, while it's not terrible, I wouldn't say it's awful. It's just not like, I just feel like no actor could come close to what Ellie is in that game. She is just she's a phenomenal character, and that's kind of what I'm worried about with God of War coming up. Is I just feel like Kratos is such an insanely, especially going from the originals to now the newer ones, and you're seeing his growth and seeing him become a parent again, and it's just like the performances these actors can give. I don't think they get nearly enough credit. They really don't.
I agree.
Just because it's in a video game, it's
exactly
like watching. Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys do it, but watching some of the behind the scenes, especially like Last of Us with Troy Baker doing Joel, it's insane. Like he's such a talented actor, and I wouldn't even say voice actor. He is such a talented actor. Yeah, he is incredible. The roles he does between Joel, like even Joker, his Joker's amazing. I love his Joker in Origin. It's just I just think these games are
Jones as well, to be fair.
It just blows you away.
It does.
Blows you away.
Take into account, like, they're kind of using very minimal, like when they do their mocap and their scenes, they have all these dots on their face and they're covered like in these suits. It's like they have, I would say it's even more challenging because they just have to go solely off of what they're seeing in their head and how that scene is playing out. So yeah, I definitely agree. They're not getting enough credit, man. Like they're killing it, and they need to be noticed, definitely more and more recognized. And here, real quick, Johnny Chronicles. I was going to touch on this too. He says Uncharted movie was terrible, Harrison, and so that's another reason why I brought up Last of Us as an example, right? Because before that, and nothing else coming to mind, but most of the time video game adaptations to movies were not really well done, right? They were usually like some decisions made like by the execs or whoever thinking of what it should be, as opposed to staying true to the source material. And I think that became like a running joke, right? Where it's just like we all kind of expected at that point for video game or movie adaptations of a video game not to really be that great, and was typically the case. I can't think of anything outstanding outside of that, with an exception. But I think it wasn't until Last of Us, until I started doing shows. Now, granted, some of the shows aren't as good either, but still, like, you know, it seems like the shows are kind of more true to the source material than the movies are. Would you guys agree with that?
I think so. I think it's just a case of, though, it's just like, for me anyway, when the games are just that good, you just can't get close.
Yeah,
you just can't capture what it is in the game. So then nothing just
I think it's the same, like you said, like, you know, with the books and the movies. I feel like, obviously, because the movies and TV shows cost like more money, and they are much more profit driven, and just like in the scale of how much it costs the production, I feel like it's quite larger than the game production and such. So I think they just can't fit all the detail, and in the game you can spend that time on the detail, or you can concentrate on something what you value more than where maybe the producer or the writer didn't think as impactful for them, or they didn't think the people would find that impactful. But for you personally, when you play the game, you probably just saw that in completely different eyes. It's the same, you know, like at school you have to write an essay. The teacher grades you because no, it should be that way, but you understand it and see it through your eyes and through your mind. So I feel like it's a bit like that, you know, everyone has their own interpretation. So I feel like the games, like in books, they just let your fantasy, your imagination to run wild, and you have a better experience of it. Because at the end of the day, the movies and TV shows are somebody else's imagination. It's not yours. So I feel, that's why very often we get disappointed by the TV shows and such. Yeah.
To be fair, though, it's actually on that point, you know, I just remembered, I should have got this earlier, but I think that's also what really helped The Last of Us, right, become as good as it was, because you have Neil Druckmann, who was also, you know, he created and directed the game. He also went on to, you know, I forget how fully involved he was, but I know he was a big part of the show itself. And so I think that was why at least the first season was able to remain as true as it was to the source material. So like that definitely helps. Yeah, but again, I think that's probably one of the exceptions as of now. For the most part, it seems like, what you're saying, Vita, it's like that's the case. You have someone else's creative vision taking or interpreting something differently from what the game was trying to convey. And so, that's usually where the disconnect is. They're not... The game and the movie, the creators of those two aren't on the same page, or they have their differences, or whatever it is. I don't know. And it isn't. It ends up not working well. But okay. As far as I know that was a good it was a tangent, but a good one though. That was a good discussion there. But revisiting older games. So I already touched on this before about picking and choosing, and going back to my point about the analog 3D, right? The limited edition console. Well, I mean, they have the standard version, but they had like limited edition colors, I should say. I ended up passing on it, although I was really excited to get one. My reasoning being, like, if something happens to my actual Nintendo 64 console, that I would have that to go back to. And plus, if I wanted to play games on my like modern TVs, you know, I have that capability now, and that'll up-res it or upscale it, and apparently it does a great job as well. And you know, I would like having that option. So like I mentioned earlier, like Johnny Chronicles in the chat, I also have all my consoles from not Nintendo. Unfortunately, I sold that a while ago. But from Super Nintendo onwards, all the consoles I've owned, I kept, and I still have. Some of them I was gifted that I didn't have. Like, I ended up getting a GameCube later, and an Xbox, I think a 360, I believe I didn't own those. I didn't purchase those, but I was given way later. So I have that in my collection. Didn't get a Dreamcast. I don't have actually any of the Sega consoles. But mostly PlayStation, Nintendo based. And except for the Wii U, I don't have the Wii U, but so I have them all, and I kept all those. And so this kind of ties, I say all that to kind of tie into my revisiting older games. As much as I would like to go back and play some of those games. It's just, again, honestly, I have to be honest with myself and to you all. I'm sure you kind of all face this too. I just don't have the time. And it's just like, and that's why I passed on that analog 3D. It's like, realistically, I'll get it and it'll just sit there. It'll collect dust. Like some of my consoles that I have now, as much as I want to go back and replay Ocarina of Time, because was my favorite Zelda game. Now it's Tears of the Kingdom, but still I'd like to go play that. And some other games on 64 and just other games on Super Nintendo. I still have my Super Nintendo and some classic games for that. I got the NES Mini though, the Mini that has like a collection of games on there. So I got that.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I haven't replayed that. It's just, as much as I would love to, and I still have hope, when I retire, I'll have all this time to go back and the kids are out of the house, right? They're all living their own lives. I think that's realistically probably when I'll get back to it, because I still have my backlog I gotta get through. And there's always new games coming out, as you all know, every year. And so, I don't think it's, unfortunately, something that I have to sacrifice going back to old games as much as I'd love to. But, yeah.
I've got a question for you all.
Yep.
What's the one game on your backlog that you really want to get to? Like, what's one where you're just like, I need to play that game so bad, but you haven't yet?
Tsushima.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this.
It's
Red Dead Redemption 2 for sure, and then actually Wukong. That's another one where I started playing, and for some reason, like it didn't grab me as much, so I dropped off of it. But I need to go back and play that one. So those two games for me.
Yeah, for me it's The Last of Us 2. I finished the first part, and then kind of got hooked. But I had like some exams going on and such, so I didn't get the Last of Us 2 yet. Oh. And then in the meantime, I was like, while I'm waiting, I'm just gonna try this Ghost of Tsushima. And then, boy, was I gripped in, and I literally I had quite like a week or like majority of the December I had off basically from work, because I just had like accumulated the holidays I didn't use, and I just spent all of December completing that game basically. And then Jim got me a Ghost of Yoti straight away, so I was like, I had just done. So I still need to go back to The Last of Us 2.
Nah, that's okay. Go.
I liked it. I'd say it's worth it.
It's no.
Yeah, Jim wasn't pushing me too hard on The Last of Us 2. On the first one, he was like, you need to play it. On the second one, there's no much encouragement, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's not the one.
Just enjoy that first one. Just enjoy the first one. That's all
you should. You should play
the second
game's
one. Amazing in many ways, though.
It is amazing. It's great.
Is.
As a game, it is really fun. Really fun.
Yeah. But the story choices were questionable in some areas.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what you feel about it, Vita, coming into it later.
But it's scary.
I mean, she really knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, but
yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah,
you've still got all the Abby's whole story and everything, what she goes on and things.
Stupid Abby.
Which is still coming
seen
up, right,
Jim playing
season.
it. Yeah, that's the thing. So I kind of knew already with the TV show as well, because I often watch Jim playing it. Like even today, I was reading my book, but then he was like playing a Ghost of Yoti in front of me, and I was just like sitting there watching. I was like, I know what's happening. I want to finish my book, so I should read my book. But I'm just like mesmerized because it just looks.
You're
so
still
cool.
drawn by the game, yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
just
how you know a game is good, right there.
The scenic views and I just enjoy the story. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Not quite as good as Red Dead Redemption. Like for me, there's no game which top that one off, but it's definitely my top 3 now. Probably Red Dead, Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yoti, sharing that space there, because it's like kind of both set in Japan and such, and samurai and like that kind of vibe. So they're quite similar, but completely different kind of narratives and like different perspectives. And then The Last of Us probably is going after those 3, and we will see how the Wukong treats me.
Yeah, Yotei is another game that's in my backlog, but I think that's like after the first 2 I mentioned already, Wukong and Red Dead Redemption 2. I wanted to play Tsushima, but it's just that's how long it's already been. Like Yote's already out, like the sequel's out, and so I figured I might as well just play that one, right? Because is there any particular reason to go back to Tsushima or something that I can't see on YouTube?
I wouldn't call it sequel. Yeah, I wouldn't call it sequel as well. Me and Jim actually had the conversation earlier today about it, and he called it sequel, and I was like, I don't think it's a sequel. Like,
oh, it's not a sequel. Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a sequel because it's more a spin-off. So it's like kind of the same kind of history and the same like kind of context of how the main character is seen, but they're driven by different things and they have different main story. For me, the spin-off probably would be better description in my opinion.
It would be like if they did Last of Us 3, but it was like about completely different characters, but in the same universe. It would be kind of like
I see.
Like
how would you feel if that's what they did? If they did that for Last of Us Part 3, if they just left Ellie and did someone else,
just didn't cover Abby's story.
But I kind of want to see what Ellie's going to do after that. Incredibly.
I kind of want to see Ellie in the nicest way possible. I want to see her life up until her death. That's how, because I feel like you start with her at such a young age. And you're seeing her grow
in the game in the first 10 minutes. So you'll
in the first 10 minutes, and then we're following someone else. Oh, could you imagine?
Oh man,
I'd almost want them to do it because I'd be like, "Come on, that's your brand now."
Like Game of Thrones, right? Start killing people off. Johnny Chronicles is saying, I'm hoping to retire at the end of this year. Nice. And definitely jumping back into my gaming and complete any unfinished games. Yeah, man, that's the dream right there. That's one of the dreams, I should say, for me. Yeah, it sounds like an awesome time.
I have to wish my life away, but that does sound really good.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to go back to that time where, I had that point where I had that time to play those games and everything else I want to do. But, something I forgot to mention too. So, Last of Us, that was another good example of me wanting to go back because I haven't replayed it since the first time of the original version of it when it came out on PS3, and like you were mentioning Viking, the multiple iterations and versions that came out afterwards. I've been wanting, that's one of the things I would like to do is play it in like its newest, most current, updated iteration, but I just haven't had an opportunity to. So like as much as I would love to, it's just like, compared to other stuff I gotta play, I don't think it's gonna happen. It's like, man,
do it. Honestly, do it. It's that remake of Part 1 is the best way to play Last of Us now.
Is it? Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it.
It's really, really good.
The remake, actually, I need to do that.
Do it. I was very skeptical at first, very skeptical, but they did change up a couple of things and they improved the gameplay to be a lot more like 2.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do it now.
Yeah, it's the best way to play it by far, I would say.
Because Vita was playing that version, I think. What? No, were you playing? No, you were playing the original, I think, just remastered.
Yeah, I was playing original remake, remastered.
Yeah, remake's really good.
All right, Blue, you there? Oh, maybe he's probably stepped out for a bit. But anyone got anything else on just in general revisiting old games? No, if not,
I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 4 on the next console.
Yeah, that's another one I heard was really good. The remaster, right? Or the
remake of that.
Remake. Yeah, remake. That's what it is. Yeah.
Really good.
Remake.
Perfect remake.
It's like the newest one. Yeah.
The remake of Resident Evil 1 was like because it took the original game and it just like expanded upon it, improved upon it, but kept like the core. The remake of 4 did exactly the same thing. So everything you loved about the first one, it's now bigger and better in the new one, and it's just as fun, just as replayable.
Nice. That's what I'm hearing, man. Yeah, I heard it was always like to begin with, but even prior to that, it was like already one of the best Resident Evil games. That's another one that I had bought on a couple of versions. Again, being honest and transparent here, I bought that a couple of times. I got, I think I got it on the PS4. No, I initially got it on the Wii because I think that was when it had first released, and so I had it on the Wii, and then I bought it again on, I want to say the PS4. It was a Black Friday deal, so it was like $10. Like, okay, you know what? I might be more motivated to play it if it's on the PS4. And then, again, it just still fell off, and it's in my backlog. I know, right?
You should really get to it. It's maybe play the remake now, but oh man, even the original, it's so cheesy. And
is it?
It's like all that over-shoulder games we got afterwards. Like Resident Evil 4 kind of kickstarted that. It was like a trendsetter and that kind of element of gameplay. So Yeah, so it's like a big part of gaming history almost. It's insane.
Yeah, man. That's, again, another one I want to get back to. Blue. Good to have you back with us, man. Everything good?
Yeah, I'm having all sorts of audio issues today.
No worries, man. We're actually about, we're almost done here. Let me bring up, we got 14 Wellington here joining us in the chat. Thank you for coming through. Good, sir. Judo Chop. My man, 14 Wellington says, apologies for late appearance. Just finished a 5-hour training course. I need something actually fun to watch. Yeah, well, yeah, sorry to hear about the training. It's over with. And I'm sorry to say we are just wrapping up. So you always have a replay, though. So either way, thank you for coming through, 14. Always appreciate your support, man. Good to see you in the chat. So, yeah, we're just, anything you want to add, Blue, before we close out on revisiting old games in general?
Usually... you mentioned Resident Evil earlier. I go back to like 4 because they keep remaking it or releasing it. And I like to go back to old games like Punch Out, like Castlevania's side-scrollers. Those are super fun. Anytime you just need that fix, but you don't want to get into any long story games, you don't have time for it. So it's nice to go back to just those games where you can just kind of finish a couple levels and go. And so that's what
like
I
you all
get to.
said, like those comfort games, right? That you you go back to and you play for a little bit, just get that that enjoyment, that just get that feeling, and then jump off and do something else. Yep. No, we all have those. Yep. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, man, I know that was honestly that was longer than I anticipated, but it's just because we had great discussions, and that was thanks to you guys here from the panel and the chat. That you guys just kept it going. And that's what I love. Like, that's what I was kind of hoping for. But so apologies. I know we went longer than than I expected, but I appreciate you giving me a couple hours of your lives to discuss this, because, like I said, it's like I'm with you all. I love this hobby as much as you guys here, and I just wish I had more time for it. And I mean, I guess I could, but I'd have to be sacrificing some other time somewhere else, right? Some of my other hobbies. Definitely not my family life, though, right? That's always priority. But no, thank you again. Appreciate it. I will have they're just my panelists links to their socials in the description below here. I'll throw that in after the stream, as well as timestamps. So I know we kind of jumped around a little bit and we talked about a few more topics that were still interesting to discuss, but I'll put those timestamps in the description. I'll do my best to kind of mark where we kind of started there. So if you want to jump back to a certain point, you can kind of reference that. So just give me some time though after the stream, because I put those in manually. But I guess we'll go around the clock here. Anything you want to or plug or shout out? We'll start with Viking Collectibles. Let me go ahead and bring this up, and again, link will be in the description below after the stream. But yeah, go ahead, Viking.
Yeah, thank you very much, Feezy. I've really enjoyed this. I love talking video games, and I'm glad we're slowly getting more and more people to come out and talk about them, because they're just so much fun. And if you do enjoy video games, then you can come and check my channel, which we have the Geeky Collectible with Vita and Jim, when we talk not just games though, movies, games, figures. We talk about all of it on our show. So really enjoying that. It'll be really, really good if you can come and see us there. I'm doing a live gameplay one as well. I've got one of Wukong up currently, and I want to try and do more. And then there'll be Hope Show tomorrow, and then Geo the Movie Canon on Friday. Then just like, subscribe, follow to absolutely everybody, because everyone deserves it.
Here. Yep. Thanks again, Viking. Going down to Vita, while I bring up your Instagram account here. For those of you that don't know, Vita and Jim are also, I mentioned they're figure collectors, but they're also photographers. So this is here, I have up Vita's Instagram account of her photography. But I'll let her give her shout outs. Anything else you want to add?
No, mostly you will see me only obviously on our stream on a Viking Collectibles channel, and now and then when I have I'm in a mood and I have time, I take some pictures. I've been slow this year, so I only so far took some pictures of my actual first pre-order Snape. Like and subscribe everyone on the panel. We all great bunch of people, and we clearly have fun chatting about games and figures. So follow us. for more.
Yeah, like I mentioned, go and if you like what she's doing, go show her some love. I'm sure she'll appreciate that on her Instagram account here. So thanks again, Vita. Always a pleasure having you all here. And then Gym Collector, let me pull up yours here. Anything you want to, in addition, you want to shout out here? I got Gym Collector's YouTube page here.
I mean, first of all, thanks for having us on. I really enjoyed this stream. Like Harrison said, I love chatting video games, and this has been a really fun stream. Just nice conversations throughout. Actually, I really enjoyed this. It's a perfect way to kind of like finish off the week just before we all go back to work tomorrow. But nothing. I do have a couple reviews lined up. I've got 3 reviews lined up. I've got General Grievous that I need to do. I have the Darth Sidious Evil Grandma one that I need to do as well from episode 3. That's a really good figure as well, and it's been like really
Granny
slept on,
Sidious.
so I'm gonna do that. Granny Sidious, yeah, the Nun Sidious. And then I do have the 2.0 of K2 as well. But I am also now streaming. I'm streaming Resident Evil 2 on the lead up to Resident Evil 9, so I'll be kind of playing that up until that release, and then I'll be playing other games later on. I'll probably stick it to survival horror because that's kind of my thing. But every Wednesday, I'm going to try and stick to Wednesday. I haven't actually agreed with that yet, but we'll try and do every Wednesday night video game stream. So yeah.
Nice. Yep, there you go. And again, check out Gym Collector's channel. And if you like what he's doing, show him some love. Again, I'm sure he would definitely appreciate that, as well as catching all below 3 panelists on Geeky Collector Vault here. Again, Viking Collectibles channel. You can catch them, what is it, every Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. GMT, if I'm not mistaken. Right on that?
Yeah, that's right.
Correct.
Weekly show, yep. And last but not least, Blue Tattu, my man, another fellow action figure collector here. I have S Beam's channel because I know this is where people can find you on Mondays. But I'll let you go and take it over from there. Anything else you want to add or?
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. Like everybody else, I love talking video games. I love video games. I wish I had more time for video games, but I put them in every once in a while. But yeah, just great games that entertain us, man. But we're live on Monday, tomorrow. Yeah. On my brother's channel, Collector's Figure. And until then, subscribe to Feezy because he's awesome. And everybody else here.
Thank you.
Here. Thank you. Yeah, thank you all. And yeah, I definitely agree. All making good content in different forms. So yeah, would definitely appreciate the support and from all of us here. And as for me, of course, this channel, Feezys Media Channel, this is again where I talk about, I have streams of content that go over movies, TV shows, video games. This is the first of the video game content. I think I have one other unboxing of that. Speaking of the Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge Collector's Edition. So I got that and I put a unboxing and I think it's like an overview. And that was like the first one I did, actually. I don't really do too many pre-recorded overviews / unboxings, and that's one of the first ones. So you can catch that here on my channel. I think it was the last one since then. So I want to start picking up, video game. Now that I have more to discuss with fellow collectors here, fellow gamers here within the community. So I'm hoping to get that going. So thank you all again, for that inspiration there and getting that going and being willing to discuss with me. And hopefully we can keep it going. And as far as anyone else there, in the community who's interested in wants to discuss video games, just hit me up on my socials, send me a message, and we'll see about getting something going and maybe getting you on as a panelist in the future. And I'm open to moving the time slots around. I'm not dedicated to a certain time or day. So I would say, of course, subscribe, get those notifications to find out what I'm going to be streaming next. For any of my streams on this channel. And I have another channel, Feezys Figures, like I mentioned. That's kind of where I started and where most of my time has been as well too. Is like my primary focus, I would say, is on that channel. That's talking collectibles, action figures of multiple scales. Again, that's how we all met there, and so a lot of us discussed and that we share that hobby as well. And so you can find link in the description below to that channel and other related content as well. And so either way, if you want to subscribe to those, get those notifications, and check out my socials as well, Instagram and Facebook, and I post up things on there too of when I go live and when my next streams are. So Either way, thank you all for the support in any form, whether that be views, subscriptions, or just checking out the content. It's always appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to check out this channel and hear us discuss video games, and it won't be the last, definitely not. So thank you all again. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good week, and enjoy those games. Yeah, definitely make time for those games. And with that, we'll catch you on the next one. Take care all. See ya. Happy gaming.
Bye.
See you later.